How we looking? I don't know who I'm asking. Here's the
I think
secret,
we look
folks.
great.
We're kind of just asking people who aren't here yet because this is the special part of the stream that's watched almost exclusively by people who are watching it later, perhaps catching up on YouTube, perhaps taking a little peek to see what they missed last week or what have you. Or I guess last year, maybe you're looking up Butterfly Court years later. You want to see what it looks like played live. Well, that's what we're doing today, but not yet.
No,
because
not yet.
because first we're just going to be doing a little chit chat while our dear darling third, Amanda McKnight, finishes off her existing live stream and then pops in here with her pals. So if you're watching the VOD, feel free to just skip ahead 10 minutes if you don't want to hear some chitter chatter. Otherwise, say hi if you're here. Hi. Hi, Atomic Sorcery. Howdy.
Oh, hey. Thanks for coming on over here. Did we steal you away? Maybe not.
Who's to say? Not me. I'm not to say. I can't make those
Howdy.
kinds of assumptions.
Um, I really want to try out my carefully designed screen where we can go over and see what Amanda is doing right now. Do you want to do that with me, Kurt? No, it's not any different for you because you're just in a Zoom call with me. So you might need to open our stream so you can see the magic. Do you have it open somewhere?
It's open. It's open.
Okay.
Otherwise, how could I say hi to Atomic Sorcery?
Hey, good point.
My
good
main
point.
reason I stream.
That's nice. Okay, let's find out what happens if I click over here. Is this gonna work nicely? Oh no, it didn't work. Embarrassing,
Did you
embarrassing,
sin?
embarrassing, embarrassing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So much shame.
guys, it's a real learning curve on the whole being a streamer thing. We get it. I get it wrong. 70% of the time.
It's a process.
Did you ever think you were going to be a streamer? Like let's zoom back like 5 years ago.
Absolutely not. I still don't really consider myself a live streamer, in spite of the fact that I do it literally every week and have done so for like 3 years.
Yeah, you're here, doing it right now.
I'm doing it right now. Folks, I'm doing it right now. The challenge, I think, is that there's like a whole separate like culture of stream that I don't feel like I'm really like latched into.
Sure.
I've seen it. I've been there. But who's to say?
Oh, I think Amanda is coming our way, which is wild.
Is that so?
Yeah.
As foretold.
As foretold. Okay, well maybe I'm not gonna mess around then and try to make us go watch it. We can just hang out here for a little bit until we have a bunch of friends come join us. Okay, just gonna.
Whoa, curtains, curtains, curtains.
Sometimes I like it better when you can't see my stage managing of the stream and my absolute chaos.
It's very funny though. What would I put on my resume, Atomic Sorcery? I mean, I can't imagine a world in which I leverage this to be paid. I mean, technically, though, I should say we've just hit affiliate status on this channel, which means that we are now considered grown-ups by Twitch.
Twitch no longer thinks of us as children.
That's right. That
We're
is
allowed
how
to
it
go to the
works.
store by ourselves, which is pretty exciting.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I bought 3 candies, and Twitch said I was only supposed to get 2, but I wanted 3.
But that's pretty good. Does that like
It's pretty
technically
good.
mean that we can people subscribe to us now? I have no idea what we're doing.
I think so. There's a whole set of things that could only happen as soon as. I just wanted to point out, by the way, I'm clearly in costume for my character, in spite of the fact that we haven't started yet. But also, there is this tattoo here that is not part of the character costume. I was at a friend's birthday party, and she just brought a bunch of temporary tattoos. I don't think you can really see it. It's a guitar, and it says.
Oh, nice.
It's got roses surrounding it and a sort of old school Sailor Jerry banner that says lit.
It says lit. That's
it
so
says
funny.
lit.
Oh my gosh, we're
Why?
being rated.
Oh my.
Oh my!
How could we ever have anticipated this outcome?
Batten down the hatches! They're coming for us! Atomic Sorcery, I hope you survive this raid.
Me too.
Our one chatter before the raids came.
Well, Otto is on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry, Otto. I missed it.
Well, I said hello, but I said hello in text format, so it's only so
Welcome!
helpful.
Hi, Fangang! Thanks for coming on over here. And thank you for giving us your streamer. I know you jealously would like to hoard her, but we also want to play games with her. So thank you for letting her come over here. And Otto is also on Twitch. Welcome in, everybody. We are about to play a great game. We made characters last week. I am very excited for what was about to happen. Hey, Chris. How's it going? We're good. We're just talking about how we don't think of ourselves as streamers, but we are. Yes, Kurt?
Anthony, are we live on YouTube yet? I think maybe we're not.
Curious. Curious.
YouTube's ready to go. YouTube thinks it's time.
YouTube thinks it's waiting for us?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that's funny. Amanda in the chat. I mean, of course, because Amanda had to click the button to get here, but Amanda not in the video. Amanda will be here, folks who are here from Amanda. Just so you know.
Okay, but I might have made a mistake on YouTube. Oh man, so many.
While Anthony does that, I'll vamp. This week, we are going to be playing Butterfly Court, which made me have to ask myself, what do I have already that I could wear and look like someone who's putting on airs in a fantasy themed court that doesn't have fairies, but is like, you know, alternate world. Who knows what they wear there? And the answer seemed to be glue a piece of jewelry to your face, put a crystal around your neck, wear a shirt that is 2 different colors divided down the middle. This is the best I had. Venetian Mask is a great suggestion, Atomic Sorcery. I don't, believe it or not, I don't actually own a Venetian Mask. Also, then you wouldn't be able to see my face, which feels like mildly important. Moderately. I feel like you want to see the face.
You want to see the face. You gotta see the face. Okay, so there's a funky little thing that happened on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, but I accidentally clicked the go live button twice. So there is like there's a waiting video that's like, you're gonna go live soon, but you're not live yet. But then we're also live on our channel.
That's the strangest of things.
That is a weird one, guys. That's a weird one.
Well, hello to everyone on Twitch. Hello to everyone on YouTube. Amanda will be joining us shortly. We have the update from her. What is Amanda doing? Fighting crime. That's what Amanda does whenever she is not like a cop, to be clear. It's a totally
way cooler.
It's a totally what's the word? Vigilante thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Nobody has said a
tell the authorities.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we're telling this to you in confidence.
It's pretty cool how she can fit it in like the 2 minutes she has between her stream and this stream, but she's just got to put down a couple crimes. Usually just like a couple, just like some small ones, you know?
Yeah, you know.
Just like a little embezzlement. What else did she do?
This is not the first embezzlement joke that we have made in the last like month.
Yeah, but what was the last one? I remember saying the word embezzlement with you. It feels familiar on my lips.
All I remember was that we were dunking on me. We were having a little guffaw.
We would never.
3 Musketeers paraphernalia. Well, that sounds like a good look, Atomic Sorcery. Again, me personally, I don't casually own a large feathered tricorn or a rapier or...
Honestly weird
of me, I know. Maybe this is like I need to catch up to Ren Fair's energy sort of thing. Like I should at least have a shirt that has crisscrossing back and forth ties? Is that what it's called? When the front of your shirt has like a deep collar and like 1,000 back and forth little string?
Yeah, I guess so. I've never thought about what the name is for that. Just sort of like slutty medieval vibe. That's what I call it. Right? That's what you're saying.
Now all the demure medievalites who wear that are like clutching their pearls. And it's so easy because they can get right through those ties.
So easy.
So easy.
I keep being afraid that Amanda has tried to join our Zoom and has not been able to.
We're very afraid that Amanda might join. because that
I'm
would change the whole vibe
terrified.
here.
Oh my god, there's no room for her on this overlay. Where are we going to put her?
That is the trouble,
We have to
yeah.
vote one of us off. Can you vote in chat about which one of us should leave so Amanda can come in?
I like that we're getting swordplay tips
Ooh.
from Sonic over here. Rapiers are cool if you can maneuver with it. Not cool if you're not good at it, basically. Which, you know what?
Hey, you know what?
Fair enough.
True.
I feel like that applies to a lot of things. Lock the Fox, you're right. Amanda busts a ton of insurance fraud. That's her second most
She's
common
always doing
crime.
insurance fraud. I feel like, yeah, like, I don't know, like government misdemeanors, extortion, yeah.
What makes a misdemeanor a government misdemeanor?
I don't know. You tell me, Kurt. What are you not supposed to do?
Oh, so many things. So many
Bribery,
things.
that's her thing.
Oh, gotcha.
I meant government corruption, you know?
Oh, okay. I understand now. Now I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sorry, I forgot the word corruption, and that caused issues.
it's tricky. Atomic Sorcery, Butterfly Ascots, great suggestion.
Ooh,
I
love
feel
that
like
idea.
an ascot tie just has a lot going on. And I did almost wear one of my bow ties like a tie, but I've already got the giant like crystal. I don't want to take away from that with bright colors to distract you. I respect you all too much.
Kurt, do you
A
have this thing?
cravat.
Sometimes when I'm streaming, I feel like I have access to 50% of the words that I do in my normal life.
I mean, I'm currently.
Oh,
Well.
oh, things are happening, guys.
Things are happening.
Hello,
folks.
everyone.
Here we go. Does that look normal? No, that does not look normal. Oh dear. Oh no, what I do? Okay, guys. Don't look at this.
Don't look, guys.
Don't look. Don't look.
Don't look.
Oh wow, that looks great and nothing messed up at all.
Ah, there we are. We've done it.
A peek behind the curtains at my own foolishness, which is fitting because today, all day, I will be playing a fool, both in my normal life and in game. Welcome, Amanda. How are you doing?
Hello, everybody. I'm good. How's everyone doing? I'm here. I made it. It took me a second because I just needed to pee, so I just wanted to do that. But I'm back.
It's okay. You don't have to lie. We told them the
Amanda.
truth that you're fighting crime.
Oh yeah. You guys told that I was fighting crime. Everyone has to now sworn to keep.
Well, everybody knows streamers
secret
don't
item.
pee.
No, we don't. We just hydrate, but we never pee.
Yeah.
Hydrate only.
Yeah. That's
Weird.
right.
It's one way.
Well, that's why every
Where
streamer is
does-
trying to blow up because they're just trying to take in so much water that they eventually explode.
Where does the moisture go? Just you slowly get larger.
Out of our feet.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't see them on camera, but they're always sweating.
Gosh.
That's where all the water goes.
That's terrible.
And this is the kind of thing that Anthony and I would know if we were real streamers.
That's right.
Well, we are because we did make affiliates. You are real streamers now.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna get sweaty feet and stop peeing really soon.
Yep.
I can't
Get
wait.
ready.
That's
Wow.
the main benefit, and I can't wait.
Growing up is always a little bit weird.
It's always a little bit weird.
It's true.
Let's
Welcome,
introduce
everyone.
ourselves,
Goodness.
guys.
Oh my goodness. I like that people did come over from the YouTube side. Sonic and Otto, thanks for jumping over from YouTube to check it out. I appreciate you. YouTube raid. It's weird actually. Sometimes I do get raids on YouTube.
Oh,
And I'm like, how do you do it? And people are like, there's no real way. You just like copy the link of a stream, like copy the link of a page and just put it in your thing at the end. But some people do that. And I was like, we should do that more on YouTube because I think that's such a lovely thing. Why not send people somewhere and then you could go check out someone else's stream? Liza Enjoy made affiliate. We did, guys. We made affiliate.
we did. It's
last
time.
and I thought we'd need more hours or something, but
So
apparently
did I.
no. Has anyone looked at the analytics to see what's up with that?
Well, they
Do you
had
know?
they had some kind of. I mean, I haven't logged in. I don't even know if I can log in. Nominally, I can.
Well, I think you can. If the question is, do you have the information you need to log in? Is that what you're pondering?
No, it's more like
Somewhere.
if I log in, then like mother and father must approve that I have done it because I'm using a strange computer.
It's true.
Yes. Someone will have to verify it. Yeah, I think that's true. Because I think we have two-factor turned on. But yeah, we did, but I don't know what our hours are. Anthony is the one that I think has the access the most to the back end.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way we have the hours. I think they were just nice to us.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's no way, right? We ran the numbers.
Like if you look at the analytics page,
okay,
does it say at the bottom if you go into your creator dashboard? It's crazy that
we have a new behind the scenes to get nerdy about and drive people away.
If you go to creator dashboard and you go to analytics and overview, it should be down at the bottom. It would say like path to affiliate.
But surely we don't do that now.
What are you talking about?
I want to know. But yes, we did. We made affiliate.
Well, save yourself a little treat for when the stream's over.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about the back end of it because we've talked about it a little bit. We haven't really discussed it. So yes, and thank you to everybody that follows us on Twitch because we did reach over 50 followers. So
we appreciate you.
We appreciate every single one of you. So, and today you will be rewarded because we're gonna play Butterfly Court, which we spent our last session doing the setup for. So
yeah.
What did we set up? That's a good question.
Luckily,
time for me to check.
I've been poring over all of our details in the back there, so I can give a summary to you guys, to people watching. Most of it's in my head, so I can help with that. But I think
loop us all in. Why
right
not?
Now, shouldn't we say who we are?
Yeah, you're right.
I can't say cool things before people know what my name is, so they can attribute it to me. Cool.
It's like a reverse sort of Rumpelstiltskin thing. Rumpelstiltskin, as soon as you know that guy's name, cool things can't happen anymore. But with us, if you don't know our names, I mean, you won't trust us enough to hear our lies. So, Anthony, who the heck are you?
My name is Anthony, and I am a children's author and have been for, I was realizing today, almost 10 years. Been writing books.
Congrats.
And I've been telling stories my whole life, sometimes clickety-clackety with a keyboard, sometimes around a table with dice and friends. And my new favorite outlet is here on Monday evenings with these two on Lies You'll Enjoy, where we play little indie role-playing games, make up stories, brand new every single week. That's all about me. That's everything you need to know. Kurt, who are you?
My name is Kurt. I don't usually dress like this. Well, maybe I dress like this, but I don't usually have like an elaborate facial jewelry display. I'm in character. We'll get to it. I make games. I play games. I gather together every Monday night with Anthony and Amanda to tell little stories, and I am thrilled to be able to do so because I selfishly use this channel as an avenue to showcase indie designers as much as I can because I love the cool, weird things that they do. By the way, normally I don't mark it right up front on the start of a stream, but for the next 3 days, my love letter to Legend of Zelda, The Hourglass Sings, is free in honor of the 25th anniversary of Majora's Mask. So feel free to download a copy before the moon falls out of the sky. And that's all there is to say about that. Amanda, who the heck are you?
You can find it on kurtzitch.io. The link is in the chat for you guys. Hello, I'm Amanda. I am a nerd, a YouTuber, a streamer.
That's it.
I'm a nerd. A cosplayer, a lover of many different nerdy things. You guys probably know me from the last stream that you were baby in, for those of you that came over with the raid, where I played Marvel Rivals. And I'm also eating this cream egg, so don't mind that.
Okay, good to know.
I think that's basically it. That's what I do. I'm here because I like playing RPGs, and I'm excited to play this RPG today with my friends because I remember making stuff that I really liked in it. I remember one of the people that I made, the person that I made. We only have one.
We only have one this time.
It's been a long week.
You're doing great.
Did I forget my other characters? And then I was like, maybe there are no other characters. Maybe it's just we each are one. I get to be like a strong, like, heir. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's very
Nailed
true.
Badass muscle mommy energy.
Do we want to hear more about that badass muscle mommy and other
Me wanna
characters? Okay, sounds
Let's
good.
hear about
Anthony,
all of
give
our
us
characters.
the introduction.
Let me bring you back. We are in the kingdom of Praecia. Almost a year ago, a black moon hung in the sky of Praecia. People all across the land noticed it. It was out of order. It was supposed to be a full moon, but there was darkness. Strange. The mystics were intrigued, and in the months since, the royal family of Praecia, led by the queen Iotelas, have been befallen by a series of misfortunes. Embarrassments at court, illnesses striking the family. And some think that the entire kingdom of Praecia itself has been cursed, the royal family especially. There is a coastal region, Elora, that has had its lands withered and die. A great famine has spread through, and no longer will the farms produce, bountiful harvests. There are people, an unruly faction that has been growing, both in Elora and across all of Praecia, called the Lunists, or in the nobles' mouths, they're called the loons, who believe that the royal family has been cursed the night of the Black Moon, and they are to blame for what has happened in Elora. They want the royal family gone. They want new royals, a new heir. And in their mind, there's only one obvious choice. The heir of the Duchy of Elora, Callisto, played by one Amanda McKnight. They want her to take the throne and lead this kingdom and free it from this curse. But this is not the only problem that Praecia has. On the borders of Praecia, there is a pressing military maneuvers by a neighboring kingdom named Asmari, led by Queen Yora. There's always been sort of an uneasy truce with Asmari, and now it feels like things are starting to fray. In the capital, Phyllis, where we will play out our story today, there is much intrigue, backstabbing, secret affairs, and what you need to know about the nobility of Praecia is that it is a matriarchy. All the nobility, anybody of any importance, is female and can only be female. Royal marriages are between women, and that is how power is shared and secured. There's no place for men in the noble courts. They can be playthings, servants, and most often, and most notably, they can be fools. The kingdom of Praecia and its nobility are fool mad. They love having a good courtly fool, someone who can tell the truth to authority, make you laugh, make you think. They fill a special role and are the only chance that men in this kingdom have of having any relevance at court. That is the background you need to know. That's where we begin. You guys want to hear a little bit more about your characters?
I can say some things about my character if you want a little breather.
Yeah, that's great.
Today I will be playing as Deimos. She, her pronouns. Deimos is a climber, an ambitious careerist searching for success or a place to belong. Now, specifically, Deimos is looking to do what so many who have dreams of nobility would like to do, which is to marry into wealth and stability. I want to find a nice noble woman to settle down with me, and we shall be noble women together. But there's this frustration that coils in my gut. There's doubt and laughter on every side. When my plans come together, I'll finally be recognized. The court, the world, they'll know my value, but until then, I'm a nobody. I have this memory of bringing a scepter back to someone at essentially a coat check for a royal ball, and a fool of all people joked that the way I carried it said, "Oh, common thief, someone stealing a scepter." I said, "How do you know? This could be mine." And the fool said, Nobility is not won by holding a scepter. It's clear you don't have it. A quality of the heart.
It's a terrible impression of me. I'm offended.
I am reading aloud a book right now that does also have a fool in it. So that's that voice. Fool's voice.
Okay.
Would you guys like me to tell you about my character? Oh, wait, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll finish off.
Yeah,
we'll close off. I'm well groomed and I'm smiling, but I don't know that it always reaches my eyes. I am playing to find out how high I can rise, who will stand in my way, and how can I remove them, and what must I sacrifice to secure my dream. Unfortunately, I am a little hot-tempered, and it got in the way of the last time I was close to my dreams of marrying nobly.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ouch.
But I'm not alone here. There's Ocha, a serving girl who's my best friend. She sees me in a way that I'm almost uncomfortable being seen, with a truth to it. And, well, after all, there is that connection with the fool. We understand each other on a level. We're useful to each other. And after all, there's Callisto. But I'll let her tell you about herself. Oh, and I find myself grounded by nature.
Oh. That's a cool detail.
little tidbit.
A little moment.
Well, I am playing Callisto, who is the scion, is the type of character that I'm playing, because we have different playbooks that we could pick from. Callisto is an heir of a noble family who is burdened by expectations and duty. So she is the heir of Elora. And she is in a place where she is trying to find a way to sort of take power, but also because I think she truly believes that it is the right thing to do. Elora is also in a bit of a weird place. So Elora right now has found that some of their crops have been shriveling and just having fields that no longer seem to bear any fruit, as it were. We don't know why, but it is believed that it could be because of the curse on the crown, or some people believe that it could be because of the neighboring region, which I also named last time, but I didn't write that down.
Farcion.
Farcion, thank you. Because Farcion and Elora have had this sort of competition between them for a while, being neighboring nations of like who has more. And Elora is also on the water. So because they have also had trade and fishing, they have a lot. There's a lot that they have there. So when they lost something, they figured Praecia might be doing something to try to sabotage what they have because they're jealous. They're jealous. I am playing Callisto in order to discern today if I can balance the needs of my own needs with the needs of my family, and probably to a lesser extent also of my people, I'd say. What parts of myself will I refuse to give up? And what legacy will I try to build for my family and my future? So I am ostentatious and muscular. I'm very loud. I don't think that Callisto has ever been stealthy in her life. She is a big presence when she walks into a room. She has a very muscle-bound back. Yeah, she's strong and loves like bright, bold colors. To secure, I'm choosing to try and secure my place in the history books. I have great servants who believe in me no matter what because they're loyal to Elora and they want us to basically kind of take over and they want to see Elora make a big comeback. We've lost a lot losing our fields, and we've also lost our money from the crown, who was actually paying us for that land to get that food. And my weakness, though, of course, because of that, is that I am bankrupt. So yikes. But that's okay because I still have
So
influence. And what prevents me from being the ideal heir? Probably my debts to a foreign power. When we fell out of money, I started sort of trying to help arrange some contracts overseas, and now we owe people a lot of money.
Do you owe? I actually didn't miss this part last time, I think, or I forgot about it. Do you owe Asmari, the neighboring kingdom that is looking for power?
Yeah.
Or shall we?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. Useful, interesting.
Yeah. I am loyal to the loons, even though I'm pretending to be loyal to the crown. And Orion is my new friend. We basically met at court and kind of got closer. Orion basically is the reason that I was able to get back into the court, because obviously there was a scandal surrounding the fact that, you know, my family is not doing well financially. So Orion was able to kind of get me into a great ball, and that's how I've gotten back in. So I actually owe Orion a pretty big favor, a pretty big debt. And then Princess Rhea, is that how we're saying her name? Rhea or Raya?
Just named her in this moment. Rhea.
Rhea, all right. Princess Rhea is my enemy, who is obviously the royal heir. Yeah. And I think also, Kurt, we established that I enchanted Deimos with my muscles. Is that right?
That sounds right. Certainly you enchanted me, and I think
did.
that's
And
probably why.
And I love your fashion. So there's something going on there.
Maybe a little something.
Maybe a little something.
But is it something that we want or something I can use?
We don't know. Will our ambitions basically ruin the romantic side of whatever we could have? Is it even real? Is it all a sham? To be determined. So that's my character, Callisto. Yeah.
Nice. That only leaves one character. It is I, Orion, the noble fool of the princess heir herself. That's right, the Princess Rhea, who will inherit the entire kingdom of Praecia when our dear queen, Elotias, I believe. I, of course, would never forget. Passes the throne on. My role in the court is to provide entertainment, thought, a bit of reprieve from the often drudgery of running a kingdom. I try to stay out of all of that intrigue. I have more important things to do. I read and sing and dance and, sometimes make a balloon animal or two. But you know, intrigue. Intrigue is often the best study of human nature. So while I, of course, am not involved, just a lowly fool, I do like to keep... I know a thing or two about what's happening around me. Of course, Deimos here, social climber, and she's never going to get what she wants, let me tell you right now. But she does provide useful whispers, things that are happening around me in court. It's good to know. And of course, I always have my dear employer, Rhea, the heir princess. Let me tell you a secret. Our relationship is very close, me and Rhea. We've been together for quite some time, since we were both young. Don't repeat this to anybody, but actually, we are in love. And have been for many years. She is a wonderful woman. Of course, our love is completely unacceptable to court. The heir princess in a relationship with a man, unheard of. It would ruin her reputation, and so we must keep it under wraps. With all these eyes on us, there's no way for our love to live free. It causes me great pain. And sometimes I wish that perhaps she didn't have to bear the burden of the crown. If we were just out of the spotlight, say if the Lunists were to succeed and replace the heir, far from the eyes of court. Could we not love one another? Ah, but what a silly thought. I would never act against the interests of my love, would I?
Would you?
What
And
else?
now,
Oh, yes.
oh,
I don't think there's anything else for me to say. I think I have covered most of it. Yes, you know me well. I wear, just so you can help imagine it, I wear clothing covered in a myriad of eyes staring out.
Right.
So that I am watching in all directions at all times. Iridescent and multicolored eyes all across my clothing and painted onto my cheeks and face and forehead. Sorry, that is all.
Beautiful. So, now that we have established who we are, we're going to explore our characters through a series of scenes, like any movie might have. Informally, formally, depends on how you want to frame it. There are a few sort of phases of play in a belonging outside belonging game. There is something called idle dreaming, scenes, and in this case, also reactions. Idle dreaming is a chat. What do we want to see from the next scene? What is there a pair of people we'd like to see talk with each other? Is there a set piece we want to have a scene in? Is there a tension or problem we want addressed in fiction? We just sort of sketch out an idea. During scenes, we're in character, we're playing through, we're talking as our character, we're narrating what's happening. Each of us will also have a sort of set element that we'll have with us. There's no setup for that. We'll just sort of bring along the idea of, say, I don't know, what are the set elements in this one? We have the faith, the weave, the people, the borders, the winds,
The winds.
the whispers.
Ooh, the whispers.
Many options. No reason to get too into it. We can just have it open in front of us as we sort of explore.
Okay.
And there only needs to be one per player, so we don't need to like try and cover all our bases either.
Okay.
So outside of that, the last element of play is what's called reactions. After the scene is over, we want to find out how it went, basically, because the game is tracked by two tracks advancing, the Loyalists and the Loons. So the central conceit of our play, as it were, is that we're going to be figuring out who gets what they want between those two factions. Is the royal family cursed and will be outed? Or will those loyal to the royal family? In the notes in the spreadsheet, I seem to have written those royal to the loyal family, which is very funny to me.
Okay.
Anyway, so reactions will happen afterwards, in which case we will we'll decide from our character's actions, do we feel like a faction goal has been furthered? And if the majority of players have acted in support of a given faction, we tick a box on that side. If it's tied, we tick one on each. And that's pretty much it. So we will keep going until it's filled, and then off we go. We'll see how it ends.
Okay.
The book suggests, if we don't have a different idea in mind already, what we'd want to start as, we could begin in sort of a large event, like a ball, tournament, festival, an engagement announcement, a garden party, a masquerade, a tea party, a banquet, a gallery showing, a concert, a play, a parade, something that people are at.
I like a little tea party.
Like a little tea party.
Sounds cute.
Sounds cute.
Okay. We had the option, I think we had a couple things happen at a ball when we were making our characters, like that scene with the scepter. We could start there, or maybe it's better to jump forward in time a little bit.
I think we know things about the ball, so maybe we just sort of
take us somewhere new.
I like the idea that that's like just part of our establishing lore.
Yeah.
So lore with an H.
Lore. So
okay,
it's like in our past.
Tea party, very cute.
Tea party.
Who's tea party?
the princesses, maybe.
Okay.
Right. And
So
maybe
you
it's
guys
a
have
sort of
things.
public tea party. It's not invite only, maybe once a year. Maybe the tea leaves have just come in. And so the
Oh, okay.
quote
We're like
princess's tea party.
celebrating the
Yeah.
princess getting her tea leaves.
Right. There's like an annual
It's so
shipment.
bougie. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually a holiday or not, but it is, I think. Yeah.
Like a day of rejoicing.
Yeah.
Little bit.
What if Elora normally grows the tea that
Ooh.
arrives at the capital, but this year, obviously, with Elora in distress, the tea has come from somewhere else.
That's great. I
I
really
love
like
it.
that.
Some subtext.
Ouch. You hit me.
Okay, so it's like a semi-public event, so everybody who wants to be anybody is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. Any other details we need to know? Is there any like big decision or I don't know anything else that has to happen out of this event?
I think certainly we're going to get some insights into the faction weight of the balance with this big event with the royalty there, right? So
Right.
why don't we say I'll grab one of the forces at work for this scene. There's
Oh wait,
many
Kurt,
options.
I have a little comment. I was just reading parts of
Please.
the rulebook.
Yeah. What did you
Maybe
find?
it said at the forces at work section that Butterfly Court does not have setting elements, unlike other No Dice No Masters game. And players are encouraged to focus on interacting
We'll
with
do it in
each
the
other's main
reactions phase.
characters, and then in the reactions phase, we can talk about how the forces at work react to whatever.
That's actually so much better because simply it's a lot. At least it has been the last times we played. So thank you for saving us. And thank you to our designer of the day for choosing to make that adjustment to the core understanding of the rule set.
That helps us.
Helps us a lot. So who do we think is in this scene?
I kind of, because it's such a big event, like, is it cheating if we just have moments where we perhaps pass all three of us, you know, as we're mingling?
So. I think that's allowed.
So we're all in the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys could come talk to the princess. I will be there. That's one possibility.
It's true. I think okay. So it's a beautiful afternoon. You couldn't have asked for better weather. Warm day with just enough of a nip in the wind so that you don't feel too stuffy with your warm tea. The only thing that could feel bad about it is the fact that it's days like this that are the reason a certain tea growing province isn't doing so well. Some say. Who's to say if it's temperature? Who's to say if it's something else? But I imagine that's on everyone's mind as we walk through this perhaps unseasonably warm day.
I like it.
Mug of tea in hand. I think that Deimos has a cup of clear tea. It is unflavored and it is also it's unadorned with sugar and milk.
Mm-hmm.
Partly just because then if someone bumps into you, then I can't afford more clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Who do you bump into?
I think maybe we see a little bit of obsequiousness as Deimos is speaking to Callisto.
All right.
Truly, the tea that's here doesn't hold a candle to yours. Truly does not hold a candle. No one's brave enough to say it, but we all know.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate the sentiment. But I personally just feel that to even be having such a lavish event, the fact that this has been a historical event for so long, to have this change now, and beyond that, to still continue to have this event when so many in the country are suffering right now. It's it's quite embarrassing, don't you think?
Wise words. I truly do. And I'll tell you, I promise next year when everything's back to normal and the fields are in bloom again, I'll get up and tell everyone how much better it is to be back. That's making a promise I don't intend to keep, which will get me a token.
Doesn't intend to keep.
But for now, you've done so well just keeping a brave face. Oh, you know Orion, Callisto.
Oh, yes, I do. Hello, Orion. Good evening to you.
What a strange question. Of course, everyone knows Orion. A pleasure to see you, Callisto. I was going to say fine tea, but I mean it is, just not relevant. It's a pleasure to have you here, of course. And Deimos, you're looking lovely today.
Charmed, charmed.
Is this your Thursday dress?
Mm.
I'm just only joking. How are you finding the event? Of course, I have been put in charge of party festivities, and so I do hope that you're all doing quite well, and if you have any complaints in any manner, I am at your service.
Will you be performing a show tonight for us, Orion?
I have been asked by many to perform my most recent um, epic poem describing the grandeur of the most recent conquest of Esmari some 25 years ago. I may perform it this very night. But I also have a different song I've been working on.
Oh, what is that?
Do tell.
Well, this one is more of a piece of fiction, you see. A story about a young noble from perhaps a backwards part of the country. You know, one of those forgotten lands where things, well, they just time moves slower there. But she's got big ideals, wants to take the crown for herself, and she has no support from any single noble around her, all judging eyes. But the wee peasants, well, do they ever like the sound of her name in their throats, and they sing for her like mad. It's a tragedy.
It sounds like one.
She loses her head at the end. I'll give you a spoiler.
Well, seems like quite a tragic song to do for an event like this, don't you think? We're supposed to be celebrating the princess. I feel like.
Oh, it's an awful story, isn't it? A terrible story where terrible things
Yes.
happen.
I feel like to make the princess cry on the day of her tea celebration would be quite embarrassing. Perhaps you should just stick with what you know, Orion.
Oh, I think you're very right. Bringing up any sort of themes like that, bringing a character like that to mind would be an awful choice for an event like this. That's what I said when I saw you coming in, but the princess said that we couldn't be like that. I'm only joking, Callisto.
Of course you are, Orion. Of course. So good at uh playing your role in the court, to be honest with you. I've always admired you, Orion. I feel like you just so know and lavish in your place, and it's just so delightful to see. Uh Now the princess, is there any, well, I know that there's been much rumbling of what has been going on with the royals, but putting all of that aside, the rumors of this curse and all that nonsense that the loons are spouting.
Yes,
Do you
nonsense indeed.
Nonsense
Nonsense.
indeed, indeed. Do you think that the princess will be looking for a match anytime soon? And I mean, are there people here from neighboring nations that have come? I thought I saw a group of diplomats. What is that about? Do you know?
I think at the topic of this, there's a couple of people who are sort of looking, you know?
Mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm.
one of the possible alternative heirs to the throne has asked if the princess is pursuing marriage. That's enough to make people talk. And so there's a few subtle glances at the side of folks' eyes.
Oh, interesting. Yes, well, it's actually quite exciting. A
Is
party of
it?
diplomats from Asmari. They
Hmm.
came in last night. There is talks of. Well, we're not at war, of course, but. There's talks of peace. Strange.
Hmm. Well,
If one
that's
was in a peaceful time as we are now, I don't understand why you'd have to have talks of peace, and yet. Here they are. Perhaps, their plans unveiled.
well, I feel like there has been some tension between us and them for some time, but I don't see any reason for it, to be honest.
Yes, this tea shipment almost didn't come through. Blocked at the
Really?
border. Very
Really?
nearly.
No.
Yes. They still don't know just who pulled the strings, but apparently someone close to Queen Yora whispered something and was able to secure the shipment through. Whoever it was, God, the princess owes them quite the thanks. I hope he gets
Hmm.
it. She gets it.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Well, I believe the tea ceremony is to be starting soon, so Deimos and I should probably take our seats with the rest of the upper echelon guests.
You and Deimos. With the upper
Yes,
echelon guests. Of course, of course,
yes.
of course. Please, take your seats.
I think as we move through the crowd, I'm going to spend my token and do a gain status or a promotion. It's too much going on out here for anyone to stop Deimos and ask, why are you entering this circle? And I think
I
that's
was
enough.
gonna say, I was gonna let you take a token,
Oh.
or I take a token whenever someone lets you use their resources
Oh.
to work your
Yeah,
own
so
goal.
you get a token. Yeah.
Because I was going to say the way that maybe Deimos was able to get in there was through Callisto's influence.
Yeah, for sure. So you should get a token. And I will also spend a token because that's fun because we both tried to make it
Yay,
happen. Yeah.
tokens.
Tokens.
Also, what was the thing that you said earlier, Kurt, about how you got a token from something that you did? Is
Yeah,
that
so
something that I'm
okay.
missing, or where
Yeah, no
is that in the
problem.
book? Oh, is
Just
that our moves?
yeah, so your comfort moves get a
Right.
token, challenge moves spend a token. I could have written that, and maybe I will.
So your comfort moves, you gain a token?
Yep.
Okay. And then your challenge moves is when you got to spend it.
Yeah, I'll just update the
Got it.
sheet so that it
Sweet.
says that. I think that's our scene. I loved your portrayal of Orion there, Anthony.
Oh,
That
so
was
fun.
so cheeky.
It's fun,
Uh,
like, I think, like, actors talk about it, but sometimes you, like, start playing a character and you're, like, not really sure what they're gonna be like, and then you find it, and you're like, whoa, oh, God, they're like this, I didn't even know.
And then, okay. So
I
I
just
think
love that
that's
like everyone is kind of friends, but everyone is also kind of rivals.
It's
It's
like,
like we're
Yeah.
all enemies, but we're all like, no, but we hang out
it's a good
every
court
week.
dynamic, right?
Yeah, it's that court dynamic of like, no one is really your friend. Everyone is an enemy, but you're all pretending to be friends. It's all frenemies at court.
Enemies all
What
the
would
way
this
down.
really like at court? Because that feels like it would be exhausting
I'm
as a
sure it was.
person to just live it. Yeah. Like
So
a
do we have to?
teen soup opera, like a
Soup
teen
opera! Soup opera!
soap opera. I'm
They always
assuming
had
auto
those
means.
ads for soup, you know?
I
I
would
want to
like a
watch a
soup
soup
opera.
opera.
Me too. Yeah, a soap opera. I'm assuming auto means it is very much like that. It's very dramatic, but also not enough soup in that last scene, I will say. Could use more soup.
Well, keep that in mind for next time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we can pretty solidly say, well, okay, I guess here's a
Reactions?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, reactions. Um, just kind of scrolling through here. Whispers have to be invoked, right? That was a whispery sort of event.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely, right? There was ears listening to us, so it feels like one of the forces at work is whispers, and I feel like that would make sense.
I think there's a rumor started that maybe maybe the Callisto greased the wheels to get the tea shipment in, which is the opposite of what was intended when Orion said it. Just
Interesting.
like, because, oh, Callisto's interested in the princess. Did something to get the tea in, sacrifice. Sacrifice of honor. Would have been her family who did it.
Yeah, okay. It's weird and confusing of a rumor, but I like that. That's kind of the that's kind of how rumors work.
Yeah. Bit of a conspiracy rumor.
We love a
Um,
conspiracy rumor.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like that. I was wondering whether there was something like for. I feel like the fact that Asmari's diplomats are here seems important somehow, and I was curious
Yeah,
whether there
yeah.
was something somehow the forces of work respond to that. I don't know.
There's the borders.
The borders, yeah.
Yeah, what was happening at the borders? Because
Um,
y'all were saying like so the implication there is that Orion got it through the borders somehow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay.
Um,
So, but where was it stuck? Was it stuck coming into the country then? I
yeah, from
guess
Asmari. It's unclear whether.
because because maybe they just didn't trust like what was in the shipment.
Well, Asmari
It
has
was.
reason to want to get in Praecia's way, right? So
Mhm.
they're at like a sort of weird Cold War. So if I can block your princess's tea shipment um, just because to do some political harm, that seems like it's worth doing.
Right.
Um, yeah, I wonder maybe just sort of like kind of like a quiet tension on the borders. Like there's been some like acts of aggression maybe recently. You know, like there's been some like uh oh wait, did you guys freeze? Or are you both just very still?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Oh guys. Oh no. You're all stuck with me for a second. Something
I wonder if
strange.
Anthony
There we
can
go.
hear us.
I think we're good.
Oh. Okay. We're back. I wonder hello, you guys here?
Can
Yeah.
everyone hear us?
Yeah.
Wonder if we dropped off stream as well. I'm not sure.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay, great. Weird. I was saying borders, a little bit of like tension, aggression on the borders, and like some maybe like there's been a couple of like shipments stopped. There's been a couple like troops marching near the borders, and with the diplomats' arrival, it's all sort of stopped. Things are peaceful, but there's a threat to it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's happening at the borders.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I think we
Tension
definitely,
at the borders.
it's worth saying, I think the loyalists
Okay, sorry. You know what's happening? Very funny. My
what?
roommate is running the microwave, and so I was partly on Wi-Fi, and it completely blocks the Wi-Fi signal, I think, when that happens.
That's so
What?
funny.
That's so funny.
We've
The
switched to
microwave.
just hardwired right to the internet. The microwave can't stop us now.
The microwave can't stop us now.
I love it. The microwave won't stop us.
Sorry, were you guys saying something before we got before we got?
No, just saying that we were just saying that wait, what were we saying? That
I was saying that maybe the factions tracker goes up on that. Where
yeah,
our
the
characters
loyalists should
landed.
go up is what we were saying.
Loyalists?
Because we
Sure.
were all being pretty like outwardly supportive. I mean, I
Yeah.
will say Callisto did talk some shit about the crown. But
Some subtle shit, but it was there, yeah.
It's true.
I
Okay.
mean,
Well, if
But
you
it
don't
was
think you
less
were one way or
subtle
the
when
other.
it was Deimos and I, but obviously when Orion
Ah.
came in, then it's a different story.
I don't listen to things that happen when I'm not in the scene.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because you're very method. So you
Yeah,
can't
super
hear it.
method,
Because
yeah.
otherwise then you'll be aware of it. Yeah. Fair.
Totally. Yeah, I like
so,
it. Let's give a point
yeah,
on the
I
loyalist
think
track. I love it.
Loyalist
Yeah.
though makes sense because overall, I mean, also we're like literally the thing celebrating like their tea, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
feels pretty loyalist. Wasn't really a rebel scene.
No.
No.
Okay.
Cool.
And is that everything that happens in the scene?
I think
I
that's
think
fair.
so.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So now we return to idle dreaming, which is just sort of we chat about some ideas what we might want to see next.
I feel like excellent, like, set the stage, here's where we all are scene has just happened by movie logic. Now we need like a inciting incident. Here is something going down.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Inclined to agree.
What's happening? What's going down?
Who among us is the most active at this moment? Has a plan to act on? I kind of feel like it should be maybe one of you two, but where you've got goals. There's something you need done.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if one of you might want to come to either another character here, or we could bring in a third party character to enact your plan. You know.
Fun. Yeah, who do we want to see interact? I can imagine this going two ways. Either it's something being pushed by one of our characters, or one of our characters gets in over their head and mixed up in something.
And needs the other person's help.
Sure, yeah, if we like.
One obvious thing is we could see the diplomatic process between the Asmari diplomats and the crown. Maybe Orion's there as part of that, and then
I wonder if we get to see like some of the negotiations between them, and like if there is anything happening with the princess like getting hitched anytime soon. Or the other thing I'm thinking is for my character, I don't know, maybe I'd try to sabotage the tea shipment and like ruin it somehow.
Another tea shipment, or the one that's already arrived?
The one that's already arrived.
Ooh, it's a year's supply of tea, so it's not like they drank it all yesterday.
That's what I mean.
Kurt,
Yeah.
what does
And like,
Deimos do?
what would it do to the people if they found out that like the tea that they got like just suddenly spoiled in some way?
Right.
Like,
What does
turned
Deimos
rotten?
do indeed? Deimos is very guarded about where any source of funds comes from. I don't think we establish an actual profession, because it's having the profession means you're not
Royal.
on par, right? You're not
Yeah.
you're
You have
not
a job.
living this. Yeah, you have a job. Oh,
Not like a life's calling, which is
but I think we can assume it's fabric related, right? Because
yeah.
there's all this
Fashion.
embroidery.
Do you work in
Um,
trade? Like, do you work in like textiles, do you think? Or
It
do you
would
like work
be,
in fashion?
yeah, you know what? It's more fun if it's not even like an elevated, like a skilled craft. Like I'm buying and selling fabrics. That's
Yeah.
pretty
You're like
good.
just like a trader, like you sell to stores. You're like what do you call that? Like the surplus, like what is that called?
Sure. Well, I import, right?
Wholesale.
I'm an
You're an
importer.
importer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Wow, you could really
textile
mess up
importer.
stuff for the country as an importer if you're dealing with a lot of international accounts.
That's true. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay,
Hmm.
I've got two ideas. One, maybe we do, so like the tea shipments just arrived, and I guess probably it gets distributed at this point, both to noble households and common folk alike. Maybe having like an inspector, someone to handle that makes sense. And Callisto, at least on the surface, looks like a good person to do that because Callisto knows a lot about tea, and so maybe has been asked by the princess to handle this sort of like management of the tea shipment, and then Callisto can do whatever they want. Alternatively, maybe because Deimos is a seasoned importer, maybe I don't know.
I have an angle for the Deimos thing.
Yeah,
If we wanted to entangle me, one of you could be run into me at my day job in a way that is deeply uncomfortable for me.
yeah, that's fun.
Um, and that could like play into that. Maybe it's like the market where orders are being received and I'm there to pick something up. And the Thursday dress thing was a dig because Thursday is one of the days that I know I can get off to like mingle with higher society. So it's my Thursday dress.
Okay, I like that.
Because Thursday's one of the days you just don't work
Yeah.
in textiles.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see either Orion with his fancy suits or Callisto, a noble woman, needing to maybe go to with a special request to the textile, store, the modiste, and be, sent to the back room and run into you kind of thing.
Sure. Which one of you would like to be in the scene?
Unless you wanted Amanda.
I think you should be in the scene, Orion, because I feel like I could be there, but I'm also like, I don't have any money, man.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You don't have any
I
money.
don't have a lot of money, so I'm probably not going to be ordering anything too crazy at this time.
Can we say we have a
Unless I'm just asking Deimos for a favor to be like, can you just lend this to me, and then I promise I'll pay you back.
Right. I think maybe there's an unpaid account on Deimos's books of a particular noble woman, and that might be of interest.
That might be Callisto.
Okay. So the scene opens up. Not
Okay,
at
wait, hold on a second. I need to get a snack for this scene. Hold on.
Okay, great. The scene opens up on this like big like fabric warehouse, not one of the smaller like modiste tailors that sort of do like actual requested work for the noble people, but sort of more where you'd go for sort of special requests, imports, and sort of at the front counter in this sort of half warehouse facility. Orion is putting up a bit of a stink with the clerk there, because his shipment is just not arrived. And so from the back, maybe we'll start on you, Kurt, on Deimos, who's like in an office on the second floor in the back, and you can just like hear this like shouting from downstairs as one of your customers is getting irate, and then you hear like a little like well, let me speak to the importer then, if it's the importer's fault. Where is the manager of the imports? Who handles this? Where is the head clerk? And there's some like, oh no, please don't go upstairs. And then there's like some clomping on the stairs, headed up towards you.
We see like a panicked Deimos. Like, I know that voice. Oh no, I know that voice. And Deimos is sitting in front of, I think, an abacus and has been like penning down, we have this is accounted for, this is accounted for. And then she gets up and I think the abacus beads just like spill, the mechanism comes apart and the beads spill all over the floor just as you reach the open doorwell.
I will speak to exactly who I want to. Lady Deimos.
Well met, Orion.
Should I close this then?
I would prefer you did.
I suppose you're also here waiting to speak to the manager of this import house. Head clerk, waiting. Broke the abacus while you were fidgeting about, waiting for them to arrive. Ugh, I've been there.
Well, I wish you wouldn't.
I'm sorry. I figured you must have some trade.
We all must ply a trade.
We
must not any longer.
I know what you mean. And for some of us, we'll ply our trade till the day we die, as we are valueless without it.
Speak not such things.
It's a hard truth, but the way we were born dictates much of the way our lives are going to go, Deimos.
Speak not such things. And I think she's got a hot temper. She's gonna just kick at a bunch of the beads that are sort of gathered on the floor, and they scatter about. You've come into this place. What would you have me do?
I was just making conversation. I have a request for the head clerk. That's why I've come to this place as a customer. Perhaps may I speak with them, the head clerk?
No, I have no audience with the head clerk.
Well, then what are you?
A clerk.
Oh dear, it's worse than I thought. Are you at least a good clerk?
I know my letters. I do skilled work. Would that I would not.
You don't even own this facility.
This day only gets worse.
Deimos, you're much more interesting than I gave you credit for. Sure, I knew you were not of noble lineage, but I suspected you were one of the mercantilists, trying to work your way in up into the noble thresholds with a bit of coin. But you're something completely different, Deimos. It's not money that carries you. You ride on the back of just a dream. Much more interesting. I've underestimated you, and I apologize. We have two options. I would like to offer you aid, but also I need something from you. Where should we start?
What business could you possibly have here, fool?
I have requested a shipment some 2 months ago, and apparently it has stopped. Lost track of it. Here, these are the details here. Look in your books. I'm told that perhaps it's stuck at the border. Goddamn, another shipment stuck at the border.
Oh dear. What is this shipment?
It is a shipment of very fine cloth. Not that suitable for a fool's outfit, but beautiful white cloth, only for a gown. And it does seem like what you'd order for a wedding gown.
Orion, this is no men's fabric. Orion, this is no such thing.
I never said it was.
And there's now, we take a long look at each other, knowing more than we did before.
You're insightful, Deimos. I would tell you my story, that it is of course for the princess. She sometimes requests errands of this sort, but you might already know she has people for that.
This is your account.
Yes, sometimes it smooths things over to not
You are the
deal-
one who has asked for those delicacies from Ismari.
Ah, yes.
Are you not?
Yes, I have
You
asked.
are.
I have traveled here and there and grown a taste for things outside the borders of
Then it seems we both have things we would rather not be shared.
It seems so. Interesting.
I may look into your fabric. What is it you propose to do for me?
Well, at first I thought out of the kindness of my heart I might help someone with just a dream. But I see you're not so ill-equipped. You have arrows in your quiver. So perhaps instead I suggest a means of a pact. Silence.
As you slowly lay this out, I think we see Deimos glancing sort of nervously at offices that are like a little larger, rooms that are a little grander, places that one might come out of if one needed to discipline an employee who seems to be just chatting.
Right.
Continue.
Do you perhaps need an invitation to a drink?
With who? For silence, with who? With the heir princess.
Oh my. You're cheeky, Deimos. I have many connections, but of course, that is one.
Tease me not, Orion!
And
you spoke of such things. You put such a thing on the table.
You only thought I did. But interesting to put an empty envelope and imagine what's inside. And what would you say to her, the heir princess? A clerk.
Put me on the spot. You put me on the spot. There's nothing to say, imagining. Nothing to be saying.
Fascinating. I think you'll hear from me. Very soon. Keep your Thursday open. I know it's often an open slot.
Get out.
Soon, Deimos. Our paths will intertwine. And do work on that shipment, please. My God. Terrible clerk. And he marches out of the room down the stairs.
Great.
We should have got some tokens and stuff, but I didn't think about it. We'll get better at that.
Had too much fun.
Okay. Comments killing me. Just like a man promises the moon, then once he's done, he doesn't remember saying anything. Man, Orion is such a fun character.
He's fun.
Oh, that was such a good scene, guys.
Yeah.
I was so entertained.
Went fun places. Forces at work. How do we respond? There are machinations at play. I think this is time for one of those weird ones where, like the weave.
How weird do we want it?
Oh. I don't know, Amanda. I just feel like this is a moment. So the weave is one of the forces at work, which is like fate, basically, right? Destiny. And there's just something about this that smacks, of destiny, of like
running
intercrossing, running into each other. I think what I just want to. I think here's what it is. The Star Watchers on the edge of town. That night, after that meeting, 2 twinkling stars. Where one had been before, a very faint new star appears beside the star they call the princess, the one that trails after the queen.
Ooh. But whose star is it that rises? That's great. Love that.
Me, Callisto.
It's you, Callisto.
Obviously.
From the shadows.
Okay, so that's what's going on with the weave. A little bit of destiny. Someone's star is rising. Do we need to move loyalists or loons
well, we got to
here?
do one of them. I think
I don't know what it is.
If I was to say where my character lands with this, we didn't speak of upkeeping the monarchy. We spoke of things happening with someone who's not an ally. That feels like skullduggery. That feels like the Loons.
Okay, chaos at court. It only benefits
I definitely
the Loons.
think also just so many secrets that are like exchanged that could like mess with stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, there we go.
All
I would
right.
love to see you two in the next scene.
Okay.
I don't know what it is yet, but that's
Okay.
my idle dreaming right
I
at
like
the
it.
front here.
We'll take your
Boom,
direction.
what if you two?
What could Callisto and Orion be up to?
So things that come to
What are they
mind is that Orion, you owe Orion a favor, a big favor.
Mhm.
I don't know what that is yet, but that could be something. Alternatively,
Is there something that you want from Callisto right now? Are you trying to marry the princess? Just be real with me.
Wow, what a question to ask. I don't know. He's ordered a wedding dress. What do you think? But what do I need from Callisto?
Maybe you need a place to get married because you could do it in Elora. Oh, and the crown wouldn't know if I'm in charge of it.
Fascinating.
Well, I think there are rumors that Callisto might not be loyal. I don't think the crown necessarily suspects that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's quite the move. It feels like a big risk.
I think we've just fallen from grace because of our money. So people are like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Feels like a crazy card to play. Maybe we should just follow that.
That's an option. Or are there things that our characters both like to do? We are friends at court, we said.
New friends, so you said.
Even though we were both very like bitchy with each other.
Fair enough.
In that last scene. But maybe that's what our friendship is like. Maybe we're like that all the time with each other.
What would be an embarrassing place to invite you? I think it might be fun for Orion. Orion knows that he has some ammo.
Some control over me where you could be like, Callisto, I need you to come to this thing. And Callisto would be like, of course I'll come to that thing because Callisto owes you.
Right.
So of course she'll do it. And I think she's also like a woman. She strikes me as kind of like a woman of honor too, where if like she makes a promise to someone, she really does try to follow through. And she also, I think, over promises on things that she's like, should have never promised this. Like this was a stupid, this is a mistake. So I can see her definitely being like, okay, all right, I'll come. But yeah, where would be embarrassing? I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of like volunteer scenario. Or like, I don't know, what's something that a fool would do that like a noble woman would like never be seen doing?
Okay, I've got an idea. What about there's like almost an answer to that question?
Like an improv class?
What if we go down to the peasants? Because the peasants are obsessed with you. And so if you make any public appearances, it's going to be a fiasco.
Is it like just one of those things of like you just said like, oh, why don't you meet me at this place? And then like I get to that area of town and I'm like, this is like where all the like poor people just hang out. Like this is just some pub you invited me to, and I'm like, this is just some pub. Like I'm not supposed to be in this area. And that's where everyone is because you know that people will gather around me like if I just go out to a bar.
Yeah.
That's not in the, upper city or whatever.
Yeah. I like it. Is that good enough to start with?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
What's our purpose of meeting? Are we meeting to discuss something or are we just coming to hang out?
I think I've invited you for a carriage ride to a perhaps a special perfumery.
Okay. So is it like you were like, meet me here and then we'll have a drink or two and then we'll get into the carriage and we'll go to the perfumery?
Yes.
And I can imagine it of like a thing too of Callisto being like, I don't need to go to a perfumery, and you being like, Like, I don't want to get any new perfume. I'm fine with what I have. And Orion just being like, you have to see it. You have to smell it. It's
It's
beautiful.
incredible.
Okay. Cool. I like it.
The
Okay.
carriage moves slowly down the road from the high gray cliffs of coastal town. As you move farther down from the high castles, the buildings get humbler, more homespun. And then there's the sound of a bawdy tavern song coming out from a building nearby. Its wood beam construction quite quaint compared to the stone buildings of the cliffside. And a man's voice raised in song as well. How quaint.
Huh.
I think Callisto pulls up in the carriage and gets out. Pays the driver
What
to
are
wait for
you
them.
doing?
What are you doing is more the question.
Just
Where are we exactly? When you gave me this address, you could have told me just how far from the castle it was.
Well, a good perfumist needs to be close to its suppliers. They're often quite a ways into the town.
Well, I would have appreciated a heads up.
I
But very
suppose
well.
we have to continue from here on foot.
Oh, what do you mean on foot? I thought you said that we would be taking the carriage to the perfumery.
But then you've gotten out of the carriage, so I guess we'll continue on foot.
Well, I've paid for it to wait for, and I think Callisto turns around and the carriage is gone.
Ah, a shame.
By the gods.
It's a
All
fine
right.
song, isn't it?
What? Which? The song that is being sung now?
Yes, 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 yes. I love this one. And then under the darkened moon, we knew our heir would be coming soon.
Yes.
Yes, yes. They call her Truthbringer, Fate's sister. That's right, the heir Callisto. What a lovely rhyme. I mean, an okay rhyme, but a lovely line.
Right.
Do you know it well?
By faith, I do not often, as you know, Orion, I'm not big into songs or these things that people seem to cling to. I mean, I'd prefer something a bit lighter, I think. Perhaps just a nice little love song. That's good enough for me. I don't need these great epics of. I mean, it's ridiculous, really, isn't it?
I think we're walking on foot now, leaving the tavern behind us, moving further and further into the town. And at this point, there are just whispers. People who pass us, sort of trying to like look closer at you, fingers pointing. Sometimes people sort of hurrying their child along. Quite the energy.
Well, we are on foot, and we are definitely not dressed, you or I, for this neighborhood. So I can only imagine what people would be thinking. Also, I do wear a different crest coming from a different area. You know, my family crest has been passed down for many years, and it is obviously very recognizable because we have had a long, long lineage.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you that my family is actually older than the royal family?
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yes, we actually settled here. I believe it was 50 or so years before the royals did come.
Yes, that's right. They call it the Midnight Conquest, yes? Soldiers
Yes,
marched
exactly.
into Elora, and it was under 6 hours. They conquered the whole thing. A fearsome kingdom.
They did. They took it, and now here we are today.
But that was quite some time ago. I'm sure you don't hold grudges.
I mean, of course not. Of course not. What grudge would there be to to hold against, I mean, those that do such a fine job ruling. Look at these fine folk. They seem to be doing perfectly well. And she points towards some dirty children.
They're bathing in a puddle of mud.
Yeah.
Yes. People are happy, quite content. I have been meaning to ask you, Callisto, what has brought you to Phyllis? It's not usual for the Elorans to spend much time at court. Your mother hasn't been in... Well, I've never met her.
Well, my mother is actually the reason that I'm here. My mother asked me to come to see how things have gone and see if there were opportunities for Elora to expand our relationship with the crown. I mean, just because something is gone doesn't mean that we don't have more to offer. We do have a very, very beautiful historical trade port. And, of course, many relationships that come with it. And, of course, there is the bounties of the sea, which really Elora is rich with. So there is much that we have to offer the crown, and I've come simply to see how I can be of service.
As you say, Elora, I think one of the peasants nearby elbows another and says, I told you it was her. I told you it was her. Look, all along.
I think Callisto looks right at them and then says, I see people who remember the beauty and the grace of Elora. Thank you for your recognition, and thank you for your kind thoughts towards my home. And Callisto opens up her little coin purse and offers them each a gold piece.
One of the peasants tears up and the other kneels.
I hope that this helps to feed your families for at least some time here. It has been too long, clearly, since I've walked these streets. And she touches their hands and then kind of just continues on her way.
I think a crowd's starting to gather, though, now. That's altogether too much attention, and people are starting to come in, especially with the promise of gold coins being given away.
Yeah.
And now there's like a huddle of people following us.
I also grabbed a few tokens. I don't know if I should declare when I do that, or do you guys want me to say what I'm doing?
I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah.
I know. I'm just looking to see like whenever I'm doing any of these things.
Sure, yeah. That's great.
All right.
Well, I have to tell you precisely what the crown is afraid of. The Eloran heir walking the streets, getting comfortable with the peasants. You do know I am in their employ, yes?
I do, but there is nothing to fear from me. It's their kingdom. At any time, they could come down the streets and do just as I am doing. And I'm sure they would be received just as well. Definitely, I would say probably better than me.
Oh,
yes. They are the ones that actually rule this kingdom. And
they're the ones that they're singing about in the tavern, right? When we went past, right? They were talking about Eliotas.
Just because you pay someone to put up a song, Orion, does not mean that is what the people believe. If you think I'm foolish enough to think that that was simply a choice, please.
Oh, hail, Queen! Wait, what's your name? Callista! Oh, a boy yells from the back of the crowd. Oh, dear. And, like, someone, like, muffles him. Well, that's... I didn't pay him. And what do you say of that, Callisto?
I would say... I'm going to pay a token. I would say that perhaps the people here simply see what my mother and I have done with Elora, and how we have transformed our area into a place where everyone can live and provide for their people. I would say that these people simply are looking for change here, and they see someone who has brought it before. It only makes sense that there might be some things they would idolize, but they do not know me. I am not from here. So if there is a threat to the crown that I pose, then I would ask the crown to look within itself to see how it could be so broken, to be threatened by someone who is so small in comparison.
Impressive speech. I'll remind you, Callisto, that I am not the crown. I am an impartial observer and a mere employee. And what I have to tell you is you should not be confused that your following has arisen because of your wonderful governance. You owe this to a particularly cloudy night and a particularly bad harvest and a bad cold season among the royal family. A mere stroke of luck and some bored peasants. The fact that you've bought into it shows that you're more dangerous than I thought. There are many people here who don't like you, Callisto, and who realize you're a threat. And they're always looking for information.
Just as there are many people that will always underestimate you, my friend, despite the fact that perhaps you are a piece yourself that they should be more worried about. Perhaps even more dangerous than I am to the crown in some ways.
I think you only need to look in my breeches to understand that that is not a real threat.
I think that is what the threat might be, my friend.
What are you suggesting, Callisto?
Hmm?
He stops and turns around in the middle of the street.
Well, I mean, how long have you been a fool for the princess? She says as she kind of just circles around behind you.
Since she was 14 and I 13. It's well known.
Ah. So, a good many moons, we would say.
Good fools are hard to come by.
And yet, most noble women change their fools every year, few years at most. Some change them weekly, I would say.
But if you have the best.
An interesting point you make, my friend. However, you are not the best studied fool. There are many who have ranked higher in contests and performances. Just because you belong to the princess does not mean that you are the best. But it does mean, well, perhaps I shouldn't say. It does mean that you are very close to the princess.
Who did you hear this from?
Who did I hear this from? Orion, my dear. I have eyes. And so does everyone else in the court, I would like to remind you.
I don't believe you.
That I have eyes, or that everyone else in the court does?
If it was so well known, I'd have been dead a long time ago. And I'm still alive.
Well, of course there is the princess. Princess Rhea. Well, I mean, you're untouchable. At least as long as the princess remains in power.
You're playing a dangerous game. I already had the ability to slice your head off at my will, and now you want to anger me.
Slice my head off. Well, and Callisto crosses her arms, and I think that Callisto is probably about a foot taller than Orion, and says, I would like to see you try.
You are thick sometimes. Fine. You've made your point. You're willing to play the game.
No, so are you. I think that's why we are such good friends, no?
I suppose. I think he reaches up and snaps his fingers, and you can see the carriage has suddenly appears from around a corner and is making its way back.
Of course.
We should be on
Seems
our
the
way.
carriage has found us again, somehow, miraculously.
What luck.
With your gesture, what magical fingertips you have, kind sir.
Fools work in mysterious ways. I
Something
will be
like
calling
that,
in
yes.
my favor, Callisto. While you're still alive. Just so you know.
I'm very eager to see what it is that you need.
Good. Let's get out of here. They're trying to touch me.
And I think that's basically the end of that scene.
I think so. Reactions. I think we've... Okay, well... I think that, like, the fact that this happened and that you went down into the town, I think that itself is news that carries, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, like... Okay, the people are emboldened, I think. This is like just like you giving away those gold coins, you appearing in the town. Already, people are taking it as signs.
I feel like
Everyone's
it became a
overreading
rumor
everything.
of like she rained gold coins on people, even though I only handed out like a few coins. It wasn't crazy, but people were like, Callisto's a baller.
Yeah.
To the people.
Which brings up a question that I have, perhaps informing a different force at work. How much did that really cost you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I'm gonna like... I'm gonna still be able to eat, but like a meal a day for the next week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Love that Orion the Fool is the richest person among these three.
Fools get tips.
And technically you kind of have access to like the crown's money.
Yeah.
Because you could just ask the princess for money.
True. Okay, so I think the reaction is like a ramping of the pressure between people and empire, as the people are like emboldened by this, and the empire is concerned.
Sounds like loons to me. But if you folks feel that both of your characters are on opposite sides, they'll both get a tick. What do you think?
Nah, loons for sure.
Cool.
Boop. I think it was loons.
Okay, what's next, guys?
What indeed? That's quite a scene.
Where are the... Oh, over here. I was like, it's all on my sheet. I was just looking to see, like, where do we see, like, the scene information? Is there scene information, or do we just go?
We just go. Yeah, idle dreaming is how we get there, and it's just chatting about what you think would be interesting to see next.
Well, I mean... I love that the princess is just this character that, like, won't really appear. I mean, she could appear.
She might. I think we should actually follow up on the invitation that Deimos has received. Perhaps a letter perfumed has come in the mail, delivered by hand, perhaps, to meet in one of the sort of like lower entertaining chambers at the palace. An evening tea, which is a sort of a common event here, sort of done at twilight as the sun sets, and all manner of of drinks, some mind-altering, some not, are offered in display of wealth, common pastime of royalty, and you've been invited on a Thursday evening.
Interesting. How intimate is this?
I think
Pretty
intimate. I think that I can't tell if there's going to be like a couple people there who are not Ryan and the princess and Deimos, or if it's just like basically those three.
I think that makes sense. Yeah. Well, part of me, part of me almost thinks it would be fascinating if Callisto was there in lieu. Like if I wasn't, maybe I thought it was just going to be me and the princess, or like I'd have to deal with Orion and whatever that entails. But then Orion has sort of lobbed this to someone else just to throw us both off in an awkward situation for Callisto.
So wait, are you saying you invite Callisto to come with you because you're like, I don't know if it's going to be the princess or if Orion will be there, and I want you to like distract Orion?
That's a possibility, but
But
it
then
also could be the case that maybe you got an invite from the princess just the same way that I did.
Why?
And
Why did this girl invite me?
yeah.
Okay.
Would there be a good reason for Orion to have done that, Anthony, do you think? Like, does any of that make any sense?
Seems
I mean,
like
the princess
almost.
also might have her own plans.
Oh, that's true. The princess has agency is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's kind of fun too, isn't it?
But like,
You could.
well, maybe the princess has invited Callisto because she's concerned.
For Callisto?
Yes.
And then maybe Orion's invited Deimos sort of separately because he wants to see what will happen.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Made the promise, following through with it. Yeah, that's
So
pretty
wait,
good.
you're keeping your promise, but you're also just kind of trolling? Is that what you're saying as Orion?
I think that was what Orion wanted to do from the beginning. He was just like, this is crazy. I should invite this random clerk to go have tea with the princess.
It'll be
I think that's
hilarious,
fun.
he said.
Because you could have genuinely helped me by setting me up with a noble connection that was not so far-fetched, so deeply distant from my station, but you did not do that.
Much more interesting.
This is going to be so weird. I love it.
I think you guys both
As
arrived
long as
first.
more tea is spilled, says Rosebud Music.
Indeed.
Tea being spilled is like this entire game, I feel like. It's all tea. Every scene is tea.
My life.
My life.
Not in that there's gossip all my life. I just mean I drink a lot of tea. But, you know, that'd be funny too.
You do drink a lot of tea, but I feel like, Kurt, you also do enjoy a good little dish of tea.
Good little dish. Who doesn't like a good little dish?
I feel like whenever Kurt and I actually get together, we both love to dish.
There is dishing that happens.
We can't tell you what it is, but we can tell you in this game what it's about to be, because I'm assuming there's going to be a lot happening in this next scene. So it's going to be 4 people then, because the princess will actually be there.
Yeah, and we can decide whether
share her, or
yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
kind of find what her voice is, kind of through all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the most dramatic opening is just to have you two arrive before anybody else.
At the same time, yeah.
Right, but we don't know the other person was coming.
You got an invite from the princess.
And you got an invite from Orion?
I got an invite from the princess.
Oh.
I don't know what her hand looks like.
Oh.
Not her hand, like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I probably do know what her hand looks like.
You would, yes.
Probably.
I would imagine.
Also, I wonder if like at any point, if like when Callisto was younger, do you guys think that Callisto ever came to court when she was younger? Well, I don't even know how old our characters are. I'm thinking of them as like late 20s, somewhere around there, like mid to late 20s.
I guess
what
that.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be true.
maybe like someone just turned 30, if any of that. That's like as old as I'd go for it.
And I can see Deimos being younger, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it. But Deimos wouldn't disclose either. The less that is known about Deimos's life outside the court, the better. Deimos
But
shows up this day. Sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say, I was just wondering if Callisto is the same age as the princess, and if like Callisto ever came to court to be part of the princess's court when she was younger.
Sure,
I like it.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
So
But
like,
younger
would
is
I have
younger.
known the princess pretty well, like when we were kids? Like, did we hang out?
I think you could say, yeah. I mean, like, to be honest, like, you are among the top ranking nobility in this kingdom,
Yeah.
as one, like, as the heir to the duchy. So,
Yeah.
there certainly are many events where you would have run into each other, even if your family's a little bit reclusive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I like
was
the
just
idea of,
wondering.
like, maybe there was a couple summers where you spent
We
them in
basically were like
Phyllis.
hanging out all the time
Yeah,
because
cute.
I was at court and
It's been a
I
while.
had to be stationed there
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know how it went. I guess we'll see.
The sun is setting in beautiful golds and mauves, casting beautiful shadows on the ground, and this beautiful white, silver inlaid gazebo, a marble platform that rises out of the yellow grass fields that surround sort of the lower level of the palatial estate. There are about 7 or 8 servants, all male, as is customary, surrounding the outside, standing at pillars, and there is an absolute sort of like buffet of foods, but mostly drinks of all sorts of different colors, laid out on white tablecloth tables. And in the center, a circle of 6 wooden, basically thrones, facing each other. And the two of you arrive with sort of each being led by a different like foot person to this gazebo. And you're sort of gestured at, you sort of walk into the middle of this open space.
Hello. Hello, Callisto.
Hello, Deimos.
Callisto, you've gotten an invitation from the princess for tonight, this evening?
I have, yes. I don't know why, but well, here I am. And you were also invited by the princess, or
Yes, I received a letter this morning. And while Deimos doesn't pull the letter out, you can see absent-mindedly, like her hand does go to the pocket in which it's kept. She did bring it with her as if it were a ticket to an event.
yeah. I see. Well, what brings you here? I mean, you were invited, obviously.
Yes, yes.
But the have you sat with the princess? Have you known the princess long?
The princess and I have not. Deimos is, I think, really quite struggling with this. The things that Deimos knows about the princess are things that Deimos knows through her best friend, who is a servant girl. So would Deimos lie about it? Maybe at this point, she's enough in a corner that she does. The princess and I, she always takes the same thing for dinner. But we haven't spent much, and maybe at this point we're interrupted.
I'm so glad you could both make it. I must apologize. Ria is caught up with the diplomats. She'll be here shortly. It's been an intense afternoon of discussions. Lady Deimos, Your Grace, a pleasure to see both of you. He's much more respectful, Callisto, than he was last time you spoke. He's in full servant mode. I should offer the first course. And he brings out a wooden tray with two sort of shot glasses, beautiful crystal, with like a silver mercury-like liquid inside. Callisto, you're probably familiar. This is sort of like a slightly mind-altering drink that tends to like open up the senses. But probably Deimos has not been.
Deimos has never seen this before.
Yeah.
And is taking on a task that is outside of her scope. I think she's going to drink it so that she fits in, but she'll be sacrificing her sort of carefully balanced act here in pursuing this opportunity.
I think Callisto drinks it as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Does Orion also have some?
It's a little bit uncustomary for the fool to drink, but in replacement of our host. Cheers.
What an unusual taste.
Yes.
Deimos says, wishing immediately she hadn't spoken.
It comes from the Kavanaugh Islands. Only place it's made. The only place you can get the eels to stand still long enough to milk them.
Yes. Deimos, have you never had this before?
The islands are... But I think maybe just with that edge of lucidity left, Deimos does know things about trade with the islands.
Yes.
And so says, there have been challenges getting the nets together. They've had difficulties catching the eels because of the fabric types that are used in weaving the textile. Peasant sort of affairs, you understand. But
very interesting, though, academically.
Yes, precisely.
Yes.
Lady Deimos, I'm so glad you could accept the princess's invitation. It's a pleasure to see you here. Please enjoy yourself. I hope you can take this as a gift, a helping hand.
But I think, as you say, I hope you can take this, that's when things start to sort of set in. It's not a truth serum, nor is alcohol, but this does, I think now one is going to be more candid, so we'll see how that works for her.
And Callisto,
Yes.
I didn't know you were coming until this afternoon.
I didn't know that I was coming until this afternoon. I received an invite in the princess's hand, and, well, here I am when I'm summoned.
Beautiful handwriting, says Deimos, candidly.
Yes, very true, very true. And, well, it's nice to see you again after so little wait, so quickly. I hope our discussion can be as pleasant and lively as it was last time we met.
It wasn't very lively at all, says Deimos, but quite cross about our last meeting.
I was not speaking to Lady Deimos.
I'm so sorry.
Something happened last time that you and Orion were together.
Did something happen, Deimos? I find it difficult to recall. I have had so many conversations.
When did you see each other last?
Passing by.
Passing by where?
Passing by each other. Passing by each other, which makes one engage in conversation.
It often does. Deimos speaks the truth.
Right.
But here comes our host.
Oh.
And there's a twinkle of flute music.
I assume we all stand up or something.
We do, I think.
As the princess moves swiftly across the lawn, followed by several ladies in waiting, and this flute player who announces her arrival with a twinkle on the breeze, and she steps to just up onto the steps of the sort of this marble platform, and she gives a head nod to you, Callisto. My friend, Callisto. It is nice to see you again.
Your Highness, it's always a pleasure.
I'm sorry we haven't spoken yet after your arrival here, but it has been busy. And she like looks at Orion now. Um, Lady Deimos, yes?
Yes, what a pleasure to meet you in this context, princess, Deimos says, no longer trying to pretend she has met the princess before.
You can call me Ria.
Deimos turns red.
Or not, if you don't prefer. Some people don't like the feel of it on their lips, and I understand.
Deimos turns redder.
You have a beautiful blush. I see that I've missed the first drink, and she reaches for the silver liquid and takes her own shot. And we should move quickly on to the second course. And Orion...
What is the second course today? What magical concoction have you worked up this time, Ria?
Orion brings out wine glasses, very tall, full of a green, slightly frothy liquid. This is a new one. I don't think anybody will have had it before. A emulsion of the bracken leaf grows in the forest in the south and is known to brighten the colors.
Very interesting. Well, all right, let's see how bright these colors can become.
Everybody reaches for the glass, and Orion does not partake this time.
Oh dear. Well, Deimos does. Bright colors. How exciting. We may recall that Deimos is grounded by nature, and so what a lovely proposition for the golden hues of the fields in the sunset to be brought out. But Deimos doesn't say that. Deimos takes the glass, bows ahead, and then drinks the glass.
I think there's like some polite conversation, and then Orion catches Deimos like staring at the sunset, which is really happening right now. It is quite beautiful. It is gorgeous, isn't it? There's an observation deck if you'd like to step out with me. We can leave the two ladies to talk.
Yes, that sounds rather pleasant. Deimos smiles and walks out towards the cliff view with you.
I'd like to see maybe Callisto and the princess's conversation as they're left in private. Kurt, do you want to be the princess? You don't have to, but I kind of think it'd be fun.
No, I can. I must say, Callisto, it has been so long since we spent time together, just the two of us. Do you remember when we were girls, little girls?
I do, Riri. I remember. Do you remember when we used to sneak out of the castle at night?
Callie, I remember it all.
By the
Those
river.
were fine years.
They were. But it's been some time. It's, I cannot deny that I am curious why you invited me here. Is it simply that you missed me after all this time?
Callie, I feel I owe you some level of candor. I have been concerned. Not formally, you understand, but on there's talk of a schism of sorts between our line and your own, and I worry we are not close enough to weather it. Speak your heart to me, Callie. What has transpired in Elora?
Well, I mean, we had accounts with the crown that we lost because of the crops, and
Speak not of debt. I speak not of debt.
It has created some tension, I think, between Elora and the crown. I cannot deny it, of course. But I see not why we need be enemies.
Nor do I.
My
and yet you have made no statement as a family in support of the crown. These are trying times for the royal family. I ask your aid.
Riri, we already pledged ourselves to the crown a very long time ago, and we've been
That is
loyal ever since.
stop. That is precisely my point. It was a very long time ago. All I ask is your help.
Well, of course, if there is anything I can help you with, I will do so without question.
I have already asked that which I seek from you. A
A,
statement to be made in support of the crown.
a public statement, is
A
that what you're looking
public
for?
statement.
At some what? At some event, some big ball or something? Or you would just want me to walk out in the streets and say it?
Callisto, I cannot tell you how to speak to your people best. It is not my statement to make. You must make time.
I have no people. I am but an heir. I rule nothing. What statement could I possibly? Do you want my mother to make a statement? You know she's been
No,
ill. Otherwise, I would ask
I
her.
do not. Callie, please. I ask a simple thing plainly.
Your Highness, I understand that you would like me to declare my allegiance, of which I declare to you right now in this room. Till my dying breath, I will fight for you and your mother, as I have always done, as a loyal subject of the crown. But when you say to me to speak to my people, to even say that implies something with which I cannot possibly understand. I have no people. Elora, is that what you would like me to is that who you would like me to declare to? Or the people here in the capital? I don't understand. When you say people, which which people would you like me to say it to?
And every word that comes out of Callisto's mouth, you can see the princess's expression getting more like disappointed in you. And then she shakes her head and raises the glass and says, "To your health, Callisto," and offers a cheers.
And she accepts it and says, "And to the undying and ever persevering strength of the crown."
Yes.
Orion and Deimos step back up onto the platform, and Orion immediately clocks countenance of both ladies. We've been admiring the sunset.
Oh,
The fourth
that sounds
most
lovely.
beautiful thing on the field today. Callisto, did I hear from your footman that you had to depart early? Did you want me to walk you out?
I do. Unfortunately, I am sorry, Your Highness. And Callisto bows very low. But alas, I am needed back home for a time, and I'm off tonight, actually. Back to Elora, just for a short while. But then I will be back. And as we discussed, I will kindly take in what you have said and speak, as I always have, of how gracious and kind the crown is, and how everyone simply should admire them as I do. But yes, I must be off. Thank you, Orion. Very kind of you to offer to accompany me.
I think
Of course, if I have your leave, Your Highness.
the princess gives sort of a wave of her hand. Perhaps we see one more thing, which is like, I think the princess also gets up to go, which would disappoint Deimos if Deimos was not so out of it. But Deimos sits, smiling to herself, and takes a sniff of the air, picks up the glass that Callisto had, sniffs at it. That's strange. And then looks up at Orion and says, "Do you smell?"
I know you're new to all this. I'll take the glasses away.
Don't. It smells like there's a funny thing with a certain kind of textile. Dyes are very hazardous to the health. And there is a particular dye maker who there's a dye called dyer's dye. For if you were to imbibe with it or spend too much time working it, you die. Deimos giggles as if something very funny has been said.
Who is here to hear this?
Only you, I think. No, no. Princess is gone. Callisto has gone. You've been given your leave, right?
Yeah.
It's just Orion and Deimos.
Right.
How strange indeed that a drink that is so very refined should smell like dyer's dye.
It is a funny coincidence indeed. Deimos, I think you should perhaps go home. You seem like you have enjoyed yourself as much as anyone could, and perhaps rest comes next.
Yes, and thank you, dear friend, for inviting me. And then I think she takes your hand and gives it a kiss and says, "High society," and then leaves.
I love Deimos. High society.
Okay. And I think that is the end of the scene as everybody heads off in their various directions. Reaction. What happens to Callisto?
I don't know that she drank it, right?
Was it like the next course?
I think so. And then made pretense to leave. But, you know, if something, I'm not Callisto's player, so I could not tell you.
I thought you were implying that I just drank it.
I was
like, what?
I see.
But you meant that it was coming up. Like,
well, because she said to your health and raised a glass. But...
Oh, and then you guys walked in.
Exactly. True. Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, so did we finish our toast? Did we drink our drink?
Well, it sounds like we interrupted you right away. Yeah, but it's your choice.
It sounds like you did.
Your choice, Amanda. Callisto could fall ill,
I don't think Callisto drank it.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking so either, but
I think Callisto was wary of the fact that she was invited.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wasn't expecting to be poisoned. I'm not gonna. Damn. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I think Callisto goes back to Elora for a bit.
Whoa.
Because her mom's really sick.
Okay. Do we take a bit of a break? Like a bit of like a time skip here?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think what happens is her mom maybe passes away.
Okay.
But I also was kind of wondering if even with your implication, the funeral, yeah, that'd be great. I was actually even wondering with your implication of the poison, because my mom has been like sick.
Oh, interesting.
Like, do we think?
I think that's a great question to raise.
Is that possible?
I don't think we need to answer it, but I really like that it was asked.
Like it as an implication.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe there was foul play there. I don't know who or what or why. Whoa.
So in the reaction phase, we certainly need to give a point to the loons, I think, right?
Certainly from...
The loyalists have not been successful here, I don't think.
Well, I wonder if Callisto still makes the statement, though.
Ooh. You think she does?
Maybe we should play the funeral scene.
Okay. So fallout from this.
If we're not sure what happens, we can tick one box on both sides, because...
Okay.
I think maybe the loons took this one, but I think the funeral might go differently, is what I'm saying. Because I think that would be a good... Like, maybe she gets back and then she means to do it, but the funeral happens. Her mom dies, and obviously she's not really in a place to do anything. But I think the funeral would actually be a really good place if you wanted to make a statement like that, to be like, I just wanted to say, like, y'all should be loyal to the crown. I'm loyal to the crown. Crown's the best. That'd be a good place to make it, especially when you are now moving from heir to ruler of, this province.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Is the funeral nice?
Before we go into the funeral, can we take a quick break in real life?
Yeah, sure.
In real life, yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back then.
Sure.
You guys can talk about the funeral if you want and update me on the other side also. That's cool. Or if you want to talk about
That's true.
But
I feel like, some of us have got to eat snacks. You get out of here. You do your real life break.
I have this popcorn.
Moose Munch. I'm going to be real with you. That is not a name that makes me go, I'd like to eat that. Let's get snacking.
It's really good.
That's great.
And it is caramel corn and then milk chocolate covered corn. And I get it from Uptown Duck's dad gets it for me when he's in Florida.
Gotcha. That's funny because I would have assumed that it was a Canadian product because moose? Do they have moose in Florida?
I don't know. It's from a place called Ollie's.
Huh.
I don't know what Ollie's is. Is it a grocery store?
Otto, are you answering the question, do they have moose in Florida with yeah? Because, your word is better than mine on that front.
Do they have moose in Florida?
Oh, also, hi, Salty Tomato. Salty Tomato's a member of my Discord. So
amazing.
Hi, nice
Welcome
to see
in.
you here.
Where can I see moose in Central Florida? Is that possible?
Who are you asking this question to?
I'm asking Google, are there moose? Can a moose live in Florida? Moose are not native to Florida. No, I don't think they're there.
I didn't see Otto's comment until now with, wait, is it high society or high society?
High society.
High society.
I thought of it as like high society. Like
yes,
that's where we are.
That was the idea, but it's very funny to imagine Deimos being even more out of it and being like, I have made it. Hello, society.
Also, yeah, I think it is a little bit like Moose Tracks ice cream, but I think Moose Tracks, doesn't it have does it have nuts in it? This has nuts too.
I'm really not the expert on dairy or moose, to be honest with you. Moose are large. That's the main moose fact that I can help with.
Moose are large. That is a moose fact. Thank you for coming to our moose facts chat. Moose fact break.
Oh, that's what you guys talk about when I'm not here?
Yeah,
I guess so.
That's what we talk about.
Okay.
Absolutely 163 said they definitely don't have moose there, but they have armadillos, which I didn't know until I was there and I saw one.
Thanks for the intel, Sierra. That's useful to know.
So armadillos are like the moose of Florida.
What the hell?
So we didn't talk about the funeral.
Okay, but you did cover some very important topics, it sounds like.
I think that can be said.
I ate more of my caramel corn and I was just saying it's called Moose Hunch.
Oh, okay.
And I was saying it's from Florida. Then we started talking about, are there moose in Florida?
Okay, that's
and you would
so
think
funny.
that would be a Canadian product, which maybe it is, though. Maybe it's a Canadian product that they sell in Florida. I don't know.
I was really sure you guys were just doing the other thing that Canadians do and they want to make small talk, which is talk about moose.
That would be great.
That is what we normally do as Canadians, is true. When we can't think of something to say, we're just like, so, what do you think about moose?
How about them moose? And this is why it's so bad that I don't know anything about moose.
It's really embarrassing.
Yeah, it is awkward as a Canadian, because then when you have to make small talk with Kurt, it's just like, he's like, well, and you're like, oh, there goes Kurt. He doesn't know about the moose. Never learned.
He doesn't know.
More fool.
Kurt asked a great question before I left, which was, is the funeral nice? And I didn't clock it until I was in the middle of peeing, and I was like, wait, great question, because
Or
Elora
is it
doesn't have any
shabby?
money.
No.
Your family's poor as hell.
Yeah. They're poor.
Which I think is like kind of great because nobody knows they're poor. But you can't hide it if you can't throw a funeral properly. And like everybody comes, of course. Like the queen's gonna come. Like everyone's gonna come. And we're in Elora, right? We got to be in Elora now.
Yeah. I think the funeral is kind of nice though.
Oh.
But I think it's not nice like conventionally. Does that make sense? Like I don't think it's like hoity-toity nice.
Yeah.
So what
But
makes it nice in this? Sorry, go on.
I think there are elements that they spent money on, but like the whole thing isn't like bougie. But it's also just that
What's the main thing they spent money on?
is it happening in Elora, I'm assuming? Or is it happening
Yeah, I think
in
we
the
should all
capital?
come to Elora.
Yes, you guys all come to Elora. So I think it's just that Elora, the community makes it nice. Like I think there are a lot of people that put work in, like it's a big funeral. Like my mom was a big figure. Like I'm a big figure because my mom before me led Elora so well.
I like it.
And so people just have faith in me as the heir to, you know,
So the
continue
people have
that.
come together for this.
The people have really come together, and I think that you're surprised at probably like how big the turnout is. And although, yeah, it's not like everything is gold, like dipped in gold or anything like that. There are like little like just silver adornments here and there. There's lots of fresh flowers. There's a whole like ornamental like display that's made of like seashells. There's like art in the streets that the people of Elora have come together to like put displays and like
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if there's like all along the road leading up, like for kilometers, there are wreaths of like feathers and shells that have been placed on the side of the road of just like people making them in their homes and coming together. Yeah.
And there's like tapestries that don't all match, but it's like all the tapestries of like all the houses of all of the places in Elora. So it's like every like family that we know that has like any kind of crest or any kind of heritage. It's like there are tapestries that they've all woven and made for this event to like hang up to represent like all of the people. So it's just like it's a little bit, I think,
it's homespun.
It's homespun
as royal funerals go.
Yeah, but it's also like to a scale that you just haven't seen people come together at that level before. So even though like there are things that don't completely match for all the elements of the funeral, it's just like the magnitude of it, I think, is awe-inspiring a little bit. I think so. I think people are just a little bit taken aback by like, whoa, this is big. This is a big funeral. Like everyone in Elora is coming to the funeral.
Yeah, I think it's like imagine like taking place on top of like a hill, and there's like maybe like a nice like paved place where there's like all the royals have gathered, but like around the hill in every direction there's just like people, just like common people are just like there attending.
There. And it's like, you know, like when the queen died, it's like that. It's like everyone wants to be there. It's like to even be at the funeral is a huge event that like historically like you're like the people are like we're gonna be talking about this for like the next 500 years. But I was like at this funeral.
But to the nobility, it is immediately clear that you guys are dirt poor. And it is incredibly obvious and super embarrassing.
But I think the country isn't necessarily. That's the thing. It's like you're seeing the wealth, or not the country, the province. You're seeing the wealth of the province, but you're not seeing the wealth of the royals. Like we as nobility.
The province is maybe like wealthy in that there are people who love the rulership, but like this province is fucked. There's
you're in the middle of a big drought, right?
No, you're fucked.
Why would you?
No, they still have money. It's just
who has money?
The family that the nobles don't have money.
But that's the people who have money. Everyone else doesn't have money. Everyone else is like, I have fish and I'm happy, but there's like nobody with money anymore.
Well, I think that we still trade fish. The fish is still good.
Yeah, but it's like a local industry.
I don't know if it's a local industry, but maybe. I think
There has to be some consequences of the entire agricultural industry falling apart, Amanda.
Yeah, the nobles, that's the consequences. I have no money now.
And that's the wealth that matters to nobles, right? That's what we care about.
Well, I mean, it definitely helps you to probably run things a bit more smoothly. That's all. But I don't think the people are suffering, is what I'm saying.
Extremely funny.
The people are still have funds and food.
I see Anthony's like economics brain worrying, like, you can't have a happy populace in the midst of agricultural collapse. And Amanda's like, it's pretty chill, honestly. It's
everyone's happy.
Everyone's cool. It's just me.
The fact that the agriculture that we had, like I said, was primarily an export. So it really only hurts our trade market. But we still have enough that we get from the sea to feed the people. And
okay. We all agree. We all agree. The people are happy, but the nobility doesn't.
The people are happy, but the nobles are poor. Okay. And
we shouldn't pretend economics anymore. Let's continue.
I was really enjoying how much you were both committed to it, though. I have a proposal. A little scene thought. Amanda, what if like earlier in one morning, our characters both catch each other at a time when we're less guarded, not putting on airs? Like, I wouldn't mind seeing a scene where we're just sort of us. What's that face? What did you just see?
I'm just laughing at what Otto said. Otto said the hunting is good.
Hunting is good. Tourism's up.
Everyone's happy.
It's like talking to Callisto, and she's in like denial of the fact that Elora's collapsing around her, and people are like, "How's it going?" And she's like, "Well, the hunting is good. Tourism's up. We're doing great."
Look at all these people here.
They're like, Elora, they're like, Callisto, how much money do you have in your wallet right now? And she's like, don't ask me that question. I don't have a wallet anymore. I had to sell it last week.
Rich in love.
I got nothing, but I got people that will definitely feed me. So that's nice. I guess it's the other thing is like, they would have money if they had taxes, but I don't know if taxes are paid to them. I think they'd all just be paid to the crown. So I don't think there's any taxes for us to collect.
Yeah, makes sense. I think you mostly raise funds from owning land. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so an unguarded moment.
Yeah. I wonder what hinges, like, what's at stake for this scene is the question. Is it just that we get to see two people interact with each other in a context they wouldn't usually? That's kind of fun. I'm imagining it's like sunrise, maybe. And Deimos perhaps has a ritual to go out and just be in nature, sort of imagine the future, but also be amongst what here is a beautiful coastal climate, right? I mean, there's seashells and this lovely place, but yeah, what is at stake? What are we playing to find out?
I mean, I kind of like the idea that I like the idea of like, what if we just see a real moment? I know that doesn't really answer your question, but like,
no, but okay.
But Callisto's just lost her mother, and Deimos is like there with her like guard down, just like appreciating nature, actually being the real Deimos behind all the masks. I don't know. That seems like valuable. It doesn't have to be long.
Cool. Because that is what crossed my mind. We haven't had a lot of real connections between these characters. Do we think it's before or after the funeral?
Before.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, because then that question's still hanging.
Mm-hmm.
So with the sea sweeps in a breeze, with a scent of, I think, warm air, it's coming up the coast as the currents bring it across the ocean, and it ruffles Deimos's hair as she sits. Doesn't have anything, isn't doing anything, it's just sitting. So there's a certain surprise then when she sees Callisto. Why is Callisto out here right now?
I think Callisto is preparing like a kind of ritualistic item for the ceremony. I think it's like some kind of, I don't know, I want to say it's like something made out of seaweed.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe a wreath of some kind.
Yeah.
Um, there's
Maybe
some brightly
just,
colored seaweed, perhaps, that you can gather at this time of day.
I think it's something that I have to like collect and like weave through my mom's hair. And I
Oh,
think it
yeah.
represents something about like when we die. This is very Game of Thrones of me. But when we die, we kind of become one with the sea. Like everything returns to the ocean.
Cool. Yeah,
And
I'm
the
down.
ocean is like the lifeblood of our people and of what we think the world is like the beliefs of Elora.
In that case, I think maybe we're on the beach, right?
Hmm.
And you're coming this way, and I'm sitting staring out at sea. And then Deimos turns and says, Callisto, I mean, I'm sorry, Baroness, and I'm sorry.
That's fine, Deimos. It's nice to see a friendly face. I you can just call me Callisto.
Okay, Callisto, you can call me Deimos. Well, and Deimos has a strange little smile, and she says, even that feels strange right now. I've been thinking, Callisto, I had a simpler name, and there are those in my life who still use it.
What
What
is
am
it?
I saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
No.
sure you're so busy right now.
No, I am, yes, but I wish I was not so busy right now. What what do you mean Deimos is not your name? It's not the name that you chose?
I was born as San, and that was my
So
name. It was a small name, and I wanted bigger things. But those close to me still call me that name. Those who know.
Thawne is such a beautiful name. Do you know that in Elora, Son is a word that we use to describe the marriage of people to the sea, of people to water. We have water within us, and it is believed that when we die, we return to that water, and that the moisture within us carries our essence.
Deimos's eyes widen, and that smile that she so often wears in court is so different from the smile that you see now. A genuine, engaged, connected smile. And she looks at you and says, that's really beautiful. I didn't know that.
I like the name Son. I think it suits you. Although Deimos is, of course, also quite a very elegant, quite a very courtly name.
She has a moment thinking about court again, and she says, I probably shouldn't have said that. I wouldn't. It seems unkind to ask your discretion in this thing that I freely gave, but perhaps as a
Of
friend,
course. Of
thank you.
course. I won't say anything. Your secret is safe with me. Although I would ask your help if you wouldn't mind. Not as
My
payment.
help, Callisto?
Yes. Yes.
With what?
I I have to find seaweed for my mother's hair. Um there's a certain gradient that we need of color, and I'm only finding a bit of what I need. And I have
Deimos raises a hand. I I understand. My friend Ocha would collect pine needles in much the same way. let us find what you need.
You've just always had such a better eye for color than me. I find it hard to discern between the two different ones clearly, and I think Callisto gestures to her outfit, which is like neon green mixed with like a really dark, harsh red. Like it's just like a mess of a collage of just these strange color combinations.
But Deimos smiles and I think looks down and says, I always thought it suited you. And then Deimos feels something that she wasn't expecting to. And so she turns towards the seaweed and begins to collect. And I think that's the scene.
That's the scene?
That was cool. I just wanted to say thanks to Mr. Bitey's Gaming and the Raiders that just came over.
Whoa!
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hello,
Welcome
Mr.
in,
Bitey's
Raiders.
Gaming.
Hello.
Thank you for trusting us with your audience, and thank you for joining us, everybody who is gaming with Mr. Bitey. Now, Bitey and I are on a first name basis, so I won't be saying Mr. Bitey anymore as we go forward.
I was wondering, I saw that your most recent stream was with the Shattered World, Mr. Bitey's. You're designing this TTRPG called the Shattered World. That's cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
You should tell us what it's about, and then if you finish designing it, you should let us know. Maybe we want to play it.
Yeah, let us know. Maybe we'll play it.
Play tiny games of all different types all the time. Not suggesting that yours is tiny. It could be an enormous game.
It could be a giant
I
RPG.
make tiny games. Many people make one very, very big game. And more power to them.
Kurt also designs RPGs. And our channel, we primarily focus on playing indie RPGs. So smaller RPGs that tend to be 1 to maybe 2 sessions. Although sometimes we do a campaign. We did a campaign recently of Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast. But today we're playing Butterfly Court. And yeah, I saw that. I think we dropped some of the recap in the chat for anyone new that's coming in. Also, thank you for rating in. Thank you for trusting us with your community. Really appreciate that. That's so lovely. Yeah, this has been a very like, how would we describe our game today? It's court
intrigue.
It is very court. It's playing. Like ultimate court intrigue. It's honestly feels like we're building such a
court intrigue, but with frisbee.
It feels like we're building such a rich world too around it, like the cultures and like, I don't know. It could be a fantasy novel. I could see it. I could see it being a series of novels. But yeah, it's been really fun. So that's what we've been up to.
Now, if we don't get back to it, I'm gonna just start reading about the Shattered World and get very distracted. So
Mr. Bitey said Shattered World is an urban fantasy TTRPG where players focus on locating and stabilizing tears.
Or tears.
Tears, sorry. Rips. I always am going to tears because that's me. And I'm surprised I didn't cry in that funeral scene that we just did. On locating and stabilizing tears, rips in reality that lead to pocket dimensions. Game focuses on heavy tactical combat, investigation, and city building. Okay, cool. Cool.
That's the sound of combat.
Player powers are based off the tarot.
Very cool. That seems neat.
No sound.
Love a good tarot game.
We have a fool in this game, so kind of the same thing. I'm playing a fool.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because the last tarot game that I played was called A Fool's Journey.
Oh,
and
there you go.
Everyone was a fool, but we played with a whole deck of tarot cards and other things happened, and it's not really relevant, I suppose, to...
Also, we
but
played
it's cool. We like games.
We played the game that you designed, right, Kurt? The Magical Girl game. Was that your design?
Yeah, that was me.
We played that with well, not tarot, but
it could be with tarot. I play tested it with Magic, and I think it would also work with Pokemon cards too.
That's so fun. Yeah, I mean, really for that game, it's really cool because like the images, because we played it with cloud cards. And the images on the cards really like inform the story for that, which is really fun. This game is all played with like tokens. So we are mostly interacting with each other, getting tokens and spending tokens to do different things. But mostly we're building this story of these people.
That's true.
But there are tokens and we can use them. And we maybe have been. Although I haven't really been talking about it, but I got 5 tokens right now.
Whoa. Wild.
That's some tokens,
I
baby.
have
I've been
one.
keeping track. I've literally like looked at the one part of my playbook that is all the things that I get tokens and all the things I spend tokens. And then every now and then I just come up to look up at everybody's lures to remind myself. Yes, I feel like that's happening.
Yeah,
Because that's
a
fun to
good call.
do.
That's cool.
It's just fun to do. It's just, you know what I love? I love when people have that in playbooks because I feel like it really helps to shape the type of character you're playing, which I think is important for like a playbook where you're like a kind of type of character.
Nice
not
little,
necessarily
nice
an
little game
archetype.
design touch.
Yeah,
Sure.
just gives you some good ideas.
Little
Do we think?
meta. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna talk about the scene.
Getting
our
back
little,
into the
little
scene.
bookkeeping.
We just did a funeral scene.
Wait,
for
but a little
my
meta
character's
conversation
mom.
for players. Think we can? How long do you think we're going for? Do you think we can try to bring the story together in like?
Well, that's the question, right? Are we gonna try and land it, or
or do we keep going?
Do we need one more session? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe the door's open. What do you think? We gonna what do you want?
Well, it feels like there's more story. How
it feels like there's a bit more because I feel like there's stuff that we haven't come back to yet.
I will say
happening with that wedding dress.
Totally. So I think there's definitely an argument to be made. In fact, I'm pretty sure as I was setting up the sheet for this one, I was like, oh, not best with one shots. Okay. Like, I think that happened while I was doing
it. We learned our lesson.
Never back down from a challenge and then really immediately back down from that challenge.
It really is a really rich world that we're building though, which I love because I just want to keep like exploring these characters in this world and like the intrigue and like what will happen next. Like every chapter feels like a new twist is introduced.
Yeah. Okay, do we want to maybe do one more scene to cap off the evening and then come back next week and finish it off?
Sure.
Third part.
Do we, because there's tracks that we're kind of following. How quickly is the game going to end on us? Are we going to like start playing next time and there's going to be like 2 scenes and then the game's going to end?
Even if so, I think that's fine. Okay. You know, better that we give it room to breathe, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, in terms of finale for today, feels like we want to see the funeral maybe. Another thing I was thinking is that I feel like in this break that we've had, like in the like months that have maybe passed since our last scene and this scene, I wanted to just like follow on the court politics a little bit of what's happened in that time. And one thing I was thinking was that maybe there's been discussions with Asmari, the neighboring kingdom that's been encroaching on our borders, and the rumor that's spreading through the court is that Asmari is pushing for their like heir to marry the princess or something. That there's like a push to bring together the royal families of Asmari and oops, I forgot the name of our country. What's it called?
Praecia.
Yeah, Praecia. And our city is Pelis.
Right.
Yeah.
Phillies.
So joining these 2 nations.
Yeah.
Through marriage.
To kind of bring peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely got the vibe that was happening. So you think that's an element at the funeral?
I just think that maybe it's like moved forward. I have a scene that I would like to see.
Oh, you want to play out later?
Orion and oops, I forgot everybody's name all
Callisto?
in quick succession. No, the
princess.
No, Kurt's character.
Deimos.
Deimos, thank you.
That's me.
Real name Son, as we just learned.
Shh, don't tell him.
Don't tell anyone. Yeah, that's cool. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I like that. Also, we didn't say, well, it was probably in our breakdown, but just FYI for anyone that's listening and that didn't read it, this is a sort of world that is a matriarchal world where basically women are the ones that have like all the power and they marry each other. And that's how power is like kind of passed down through the ladies. And then there are guys that they bone, but also pretty much the guys are like serving them. And then Anthony's character is, yeah, a fool who is in service to the princess, but also they in love. Forbidden love. So yeah,
Forbidden love.
forbidden love. Just FYI. So that's why when we're like, these two ladies gonna get arranged marriage in this fantasy setting. It is a fantasy setting, but not an atypical one, if you will. Cool.
Oh, any other thoughts in our
The Age
idle
of Forbidden
dreaming
Love.
phase here? Kurt, you had something you wanted to see.
Not necessarily. You were about to propose a scene, weren't
Oh,
you?
yeah, I mean, I have an
Yeah,
idea
you
for
were
a
saying.
scene, but
Yeah, what are you
there's other
thinking?
ones. Yeah, okay, all right. I now feel the pressure of only one more scene tonight. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Um, um, I would like to catch Deimos, maybe like on the way into the funeral. Um,
So
um,
we're all at the funeral then. All of us.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as it started, we're wrapping up this part one, scene with all of us and a scene with all of us. So that feels like a nice, neat little bookend for this act.
Mm.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, do you want to do the full funeral scene? And then Orion and Deimos are a little part of it? That's a grand finale.
I
Or just a
think
little scene.
I think you guys should have your little scene at the beginning, and then it can just lead in to me, and then when you guys kind of get there, mix me in, and then that's the scene.
Sure. All right.
The funeral doesn't have to be like a huge epic.
Okay.
Can just be a funeral. It'll
All
be
right.
chill.
Shall we see
Remember,
what happens?
guys, this is in Elora. It's low key. I already said it's not
Get with it,
fancy,
folks.
okay? There's homemade
Just a
tapestries
chill
and stuff.
time.
It's a chill time in Elora.
Okay.
We chilling.
So the royals that are here, the nobility, are parading up along the earthen pathway that leads from the kind of the Eloran keep that is down on sort of the mainland on the plains, and then rises up towards this sort of like this large hill where many sort of spiritual and religious festivals happen, and where the funeral is soon to take place. There are people all around, and people are kind of headed up two at a time, and we're reaching kind of the end of the procession. You know, everybody important has gone, and we are coming up with the dregs, hangers-on, technically employees, and two more people join the procession, and it is Deimos and Orion, by chance, who are walking up together. And you know, we're trying to be very formal and mournful. But Orion looks over and gives you a nod. My condolences, Deimos, on the kingdom's loss.
Why do you speak those words to me?
It is customary, Deimos. I forget how little you know. I do have a question for you. What?
You always have a layer to your words. I see it.
You're becoming better at the game. I have something to ask you.
Then ask it, fool.
In fact, I have two. How did you find your way here? Did you secure an invite?
Deimos looks to the side and then looks back at you. I know not how closely I may speak of what you know and what not all do. This is a port city. They have need of textiles. There are those who I could ply to bring me to this place on business of a sort.
Business trip.
Business trip.
You're resourceful, Deimos. You know what to do with an opportunity. I appreciate that about you. I'm sure you've heard the news, the whispers. about the princess.
What whispers? I have been on a boat for a month getting here. Fool, don't play this game with me. And then I think she gives you a little kick in the legs.
Don't
speak
do
plainly.
that. Okay.
You will attract enough attention whispering like so.
I will.
Alone with you having your riddles.
I will catch you up. I apologize. I forget that not all of us have our web of whispers.
Made it most of the way through.
You got so good. It went so far. The Queen Yora of Asmari has requested the marriage of Princess Rhea with her daughter.
Queen Yora? This is your fault. You speak of such things.
She's very overtaken by tragedy. God, keep it together. A marriage is being suggested. And you remember what you saw in your ledgers, right?
Yes, I remember what I saw in my ledgers.
You can imagine that bridal dress that I purchased was not intended for a wedding to the heir of Asmari.
I imagine not what you do in your time, fool.
What you need to know is the princess does not want to marry. And she has lied and said there is someone who she is engaged in an affair with, a love match. Somebody not of high profile, otherwise it's not believable. People would have noticed. Somebody who flies under the radar. And we need...
This makes no sense. The princess and I have barely spoken one evening.
Precisely. But no one knows that, nor do they know anything about you. You are nobody. No one's tracked you. No one has paid any attention. No one knows if you've spoken to her or not, because no one cares.
Orion, for whom would I do this? What reason have I to pretend? Oh. And it dawns on Deimos that if the princess wants there to be a rumor that they're together, maybe that is useful for her.
You become so incredibly eligible, Deimos. But I need you not to tell anyone.
No, this may be too much. This is a lot to ask. And for whom? For whom? The princess, perhaps. Oh, this is not how I imagined entering the court.
But could there be a more incredible way? Is it not delicious, Deimos? An unknown.
Delicious. Stop speaking of such things. Gives you a little kick again. And now I think we're starting to pull up to the funeral proper. All are gathered around in this great semicircle around a stage. But you keep shooting me looks still. And I think finally Deimos turns back to you and says, fine, I will do it. But I wish not to meet her true suitor, because on that day, if I were to meet that person, they would be very cross with me indeed.
I can promise you that if you ever are to meet this suitor, they will only be grateful. I can only imagine. Do not worry.
I will do it. Send word to the princess.
She will know immediately. Perhaps your best move is made quickly.
A hush. Oh, sorry, what? Oh, offer?
I said watch for her.
Watch for her. Okay. But I think even just watch for her is enough that Deimos is like, and indeed at that moment the crowd is coming to a quiet because the funeral, I think maybe we're too far for the main speeches to have reached our ears, but it's at a point where there's a critical moment in which, and now let me know if you had a different vision, Amanda, but I feel like perhaps there's like a song choice that is made by the successor, which caps off the funeral proceedings, and it's meant to convey a statement. Like a brooch worn by Queen Elizabeth, there are layers to the song that's chosen. What is the song that Callisto chose, and what did it mean?
I think Callisto chose an old sort of sea ballad that is about how the brine can wear us down, but also strengthens us. And I think it is meant to be an uplifting song to just remind people that although there have been hardships in Elora, we will see it through. And although my mother is gone, there is still much that we can take from her wisdom to soldier on. And although there might be some people trying to put us under their thumb, it will only strengthen our spirits. There's another layer. Some people might see in it.
Under the brine, if you will.
All under the brine.
I
think it's just called the Briny Cove.
It's a good song title. I want to hear the Briny Cove.
Let me just play it for you. No, I don't have a song prepared. But,
Sorry, I didn't mean. I tried to phrase my question so carefully so that you would not have to improvise a song.
Little improv music. Although I really do want to play a musical RPG at some point when we are all together in the same spot.
They exist.
Because it's so fun. Yeah, I feel like we'd have such a fun time with that, honestly.
Good call. Next time we're all together.
Yeah, musical RPG. So yeah, so that is playing, and I think as you sort of come up to this sort of hill, I think it's like a hill that just kind of oversees the sea, but I really don't think that there's much like there, you know?
I like that.
I think it's just kind of a hill, but the majesty of what surrounds you, the beauty of the landscape, and the city just like across the bay, you can see that's just like completely still today. There's like no one there because everyone's here. There's something really captivating and beautiful about it. I think that we're doing the ceremony at sunset, and I think down in the water is actually my mother's body, which has been prepared before. So if you are to like, if you have a good viewpoint, you might be able to see some of the seaweed that Deimos helped me gather woven in her hair. And we're all kind of like peering down on the edge of this hill. And there are people below as well. I think a lot of common people gathered around. There's a little boat that they're going to kind of let her go on back into the sea. That are just gathered there, kind of watching as Callisto stands at the edge of the hill, ready to kind of address everyone and give this big, like, eulogy. And Callisto is dressed in a lot of colors, big feathers, I think, coming off of this big collar that she's wearing on this cape. I think there's like a lot of like almost netting woven into the gown that she's wearing. And you can just see her, I think her muscles are also like oiled for the ceremony. So she's kind of like shining.
That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah. So she looks pretty badass.
In fact, I'm happy just leaving it on that image, really. I don't know if anybody has a little denouement, but I'm kind of thinking,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
I guess
Is
the
there like
question
a
is, does Callisto speak as she said and declare her allegiance to the crown?
Oh, yes. What a question.
It's a fun place to end it if you want to answer that question, Amanda. I almost imagine that maybe in Eloran tradition, the funeral and the coronation are all in one breath, and that you are like crowned as the Duchess in the
As the
same
Duchess is
moment.
like just let out into the water, basically. It's like the tide goes out and the tide comes back in.
Right.
And so it's almost like a swift movement because there is no time. Everything constantly is flowing. Everything is in a sort of a flow state here. So yeah, I think when Callisto is crowned, I think that she does speak, but it's a bit cryptic. And so although it's technically what she was asked to do and she is obeying that, I think she also talks a lot about the ideas of what the crown represents and its responsibilities to the people. And that is maybe the part that doesn't really line up with the other stuff that she's saying.
Interesting.
And just talks about how like she is looking forward to seeing like what else the crown will do. So kind of like almost putting expectation on the crown while she's saying like I'm with them, but it's like almost sounds like it's conditional. Like I'm with them as long as they are just, actually good leaders and rulers. And like, I think there's even an implication of the curse in what she says. She doesn't actually use the term curse, but I feel like Callisto says something about how um as time goes on, we'll see, why our leaders should be followed. And if there are signs, then that is when you know to step down. Of course, there have never been any doubts in my mind. So just a lot of things that are like, I'm
Uh-huh.
definitely with these people. However, these things, of course, that's not going to happen, but just putting it out there.
There are
Food for thought.
nervous glances between the princess and the queen as
Mm.
you deliver this speech, a uh, noticing of your position. And then I want to propose that, like, the crowd, after you've finished your speech,
Mm.
this is like kind of customary, but they start like a very slow chant of like, Elora is Callisto. Elora is Callisto. And there are like thousands of people here. So it just like rises from the crowds. And what I was thinking was like, I think it's customary for this to happen for a short time,
Mm.
but they don't stop. And there's nothing, it's awkward. No one knows what to do next. And so the nobles just start to proceed out. But as they do, the chant just continues as like the queen and the
Yeah.
princess lead the train out. Elora is Callisto.
It's like when Taylor Swift had that standing ovation that went on so long, and then she was like, I gotta like do more of the show, but I don't know what to do. Just imagining Callisto up there, like kind of holding the customary like stance of like kind of looking up to the heavens, like raising her hands to her people, and then they just like don't stop. And she's kind of just like
It is a good thing I did not skip arm day.
she doesn't really know what to do. I think at some point her arms just come down and she just stands there kind of like looking at everyone like what's happening. Completely, I think, in awe of even their dedication to her.
And I want to say that after some time, everybody else has filed off the hill because Callisto can't leave because they're still chanting for her.
Yeah, so I think she just sits down on the hill and just like listens.
And we see the sun reflecting off the ocean and silhouetted against it, Callisto on the edge of the hill, and her name ringing in the throats of thousands.
Dang.
I'd like a tiny little denouement, if we don't mind.
Please.
I think that evening, Deimos heads down to the chambers that she's let for the evening, which are not terribly remarkable. Certainly no one noble would be looking for her here. Business trip, as it was said.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a voice at the door that sounds familiar. Deimos has heard it once before. It asks a question. It says, does the moon come first or the tide? Deimos, half asleep, says, cryptic questions, cryptic speeches, cryptic statements. Too much mystery. There are those that should speak plainly. All should speak plainly. And then maybe turns and murmurs, the moon, as her eyes close. Of course, the moon. And on the other side of the door, the princess nods and enters. And I think that's what all I want to see from tonight. Just a little.
Love it. A great denouement. Well done. Perfect. Very beautiful to both of you.
Denouement.
We are going to leave the story there for now, and we will come back next week, I believe. Next week, guys? Next week?
Probably.
Probably next week. We are going to come back, same time, same place, and wow, our first ever 3-shot. Never done that before. And we will finish this story, which I'm very excited about because now, well, what a dramatic conclusion.
Community for popping by, and I suppose.
Should we raid someone?
Well, that was.
Oh, did we die?
We dropped at exactly that moment, but we are back.
We're back.
That's
Hello.
funny. Okay, well.
Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah.
Well, with the last scraps of our internet, and those dastardly microwaves, I guess we should just, see who we're passing the torch to.
Also, is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that you have coming up or anything like that?
Yes. Once more, I will say
socials,
Majora's Mask is 25 right now. Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask just turned 25, and in honor of that, you can get my Majora's Mask fan game for free at my itch.io for the next 3 days before the moon falls. So
link is in chat. There's no sound. Oh yeah, I can't hear anything.
Well, my mouth sure moved a lot for no reason. I guess we'll just send people somewhere anyway, right?
Yeah, let's send people somewhere. Kurt is reminding you all of the Zelda-inspired RPG being free.
Anthony, do you have anything?
To raid.
25th anniversary of Majora's Mask.
You know, Urban Shadows RPG. Is that fun?
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it really, but good work. Sure. Let's not wait any longer.
Sure. All right. Why don't we head on over to Thy Kingdom Come, playing Urban Shadows.
Nice.
And I suppose probably nobody can hear me.
YouTube has sound, but Twitch doesn't for some reason.
That's super weird.
It's super weird. Yeah, so for those of you that can hear us on YouTube, we're raiding into Thy Kingdom Come, which we don't do raids on YouTube, so this is just for Twitch, really. But we're going to do that and say goodbye, and then we'll be back hopefully next week to wrap this one up. I'm so excited. I will be streaming on Wednesday next for Split Fiction with Lucy, which I think we're actually going to be wrapping that up. So talk about conclusions. So feel free to come check that out if you want. And I'll also have more channels up on my YouTube channel. So that's me.
All right. Well, with that, thank you all for joining us. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Nice. Did we raid in?
Yeah.
Are we still up on YouTube?
Who knows? The hand's just going to keep going.